and meet our winning team at John E. Kohler Jewelry Designs, and we'll make every visit a touchdown.
State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller are proud to support the Owasso Rams in their pursuit of excellence, both on and off the field. For surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even pet insurance, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso. Go Rams! Wings to Go at Owasso can be described as simply great wings. Wings to Go at Owasso is located on 129th, just up from Home Depot. Wings to Go is a proud supporter of the Owasso Rams and all of the Owasso community. Friday special, chicken tenders, gotta check them out. They are delicious. Boneless special on Wednesdays. Come on in. You can check out the menu on wingstogo.com. Stop in before the game, grab Wings to Go, or bring the family and enjoy simply great wings with us at Wings to Go, Owasso.
Seems like every game, app, and service wants to charge you a fee. Monthly fee, usage fee, delivery fee. So how about a checking account that pays you, huh? Then remember this. You get paid on every Visa debit transaction with PayMe Checking from Communication Federal Credit Union, online, in apps, or in stores. Last year, our members earned over $240,000 in paybacks with PayMe Checking. Get paid instead of paying. Communication Federal Credit Union. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the Bill Blankenship Show, powered by First United Mortgage, where the Owasso Rams have had 2 weeks to prepare for Union High School. And, Coach, you've got a bit of history with the team on the other side of the ball.
Well, in some ways, yeah, Jared spent 14 years there and loved my time at Union, and I think it helped shape me into who I am, and certainly is a big deal. But I think it's also important to recognize that I haven't been there since 2005. And so when you look back, that's been 16 years. There's nobody around playing in these games that have any confusion about when Coach Blankenship was there. They don't even have any idea about it.
Coach Frederick on the other side of the ball, he was at Owasso for one season, 2006, 2007. He's now, when I was looking this up, it blew my mind. He's been at Union High School longer than you were at Union High School.
That's what I started to say. He's into, I think, year 15. 100%. What a great job that he's done, and really continuing to build that program to a high level and then open up this stadium like they have now. I think it's amazing.
Your tenure at Union High School, you had an 86% win percentage, which is pretty remarkable. 3 gold balls during your tenure, but now you're on the other side of the ball, looking for the 6th time facing your former employer and looking for your 3rd consecutive victory in that series. And like you mentioned, things are looking a little bit different with a $35 million renovation here at Union Tuttle Stadium.
Well, I was glad we got to go be in that stadium at the Gridiron Classic, and I thought just being down on the field, it is a great environment. The way they've done that double deck on the home side, it feels like it's just right there on top of you when you're down on the field. So, I'm really encouraging our folks to get out and to get their tickets. I think we'll fill that thing up. I'm certainly on our side. And don't be afraid, folks. Go buy all those seats up, and then if you have to, go buy some on the home side.
That's
let's just go take over.
That's right. Tickets are still available, and you can get those if you go to Owasso Athletics Twitter account. I know there's all of the information there on ticketing and everything like that. Coach, when you look at Union this year, they're 2-1 on the season, wins over Mansfield Lake Ridge and Broken Arrow High School, along with 22-0 loss in their last game to the Jinx Trojans in the Backyard Bowl. They were highly touted in the preseason as a heavy favorite or contender for the 6A1 gold ball this year. What have you seen in watching film on Union, and how have you prepared to match up with them?
Well, I think they looked really good in the first 2 games. I don't think that anybody questioned their ranking or how competitive they were going to be. It certainly looked like they were who they were promoted to be. Then you get into the Backyard Bowl, and I've experienced that myself. You got to throw the records out.
Sure.
I mean, you just never know from game to game how that's going to play out. I don't think they played as well, but then again, I think you got to tip your hat to Jinx. They're coming off of, they're the defending state champion. We got a good dose of it last year.
Definitely.
And they lined up and got after them. There was a play early on where Union was going in to score and fumbled in the end zone. So it wasn't quite the skunking that it looked like to some people. I just think they got a lot of talent and they play well. And, it concerns me. I think we've got to go in and play our game, but also we've got to execute because they have big playability.
I believe last year they were 6-5 on the year. have kind of reloaded and taken a lot of that senior leadership into this season. But I want to talk about last year's matchup between Owasso and Union, a 34-14 victory for the Rams. Dre Austin had a coming out party of sorts in that game. 8 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown receiving. And then on the special team side of things, he had a 96-yard kickoff return. This year, he's one piece of an arsenal of receivers that you have. I assume this year it'll once again be a test of those receivers and the secondary really on both sides of the ball.
I'd like to think so. I think you're exactly right. You know, when we look back, it's lost on me that every week last year in the pandemic year that we seem to be missing pieces. Mm-hmm. And Cole Adams did not play in that game, and so it allowed for Jure to get a lot more of the touches, and boy, did he respond.
Oh, absolutely.
Had a great game, and kind of like you said, a breakout game for him. He's continued to play well. Ronnie Thomas is playing well, Keelan Carney, and then Cole Adams. Those 4 guys at receiver are spreading it around, and hopefully we can get them in some matchup situations in the secondary that are beneficial to us. And then, having our running backs and quarterbacks playing well, I think that's where we've got to focus on really what do the Rams do well.
Sure.
And let's don't try to play into what Union does. I think if we'll just scratch where it itches and figure out how they're going to try to defend us, that there ought to be some opportunity everywhere else.
Coach, thank you as always, and best of luck as we open district play against Union High School. You're listening to the Owasso Ram pregame show on 100.1 KYFM.
Molly Jordan, a Keller Williams Premier agent in Owasso, is not only a huge fan of Owasso athletics, Molly is also a huge supporter of everything Owasso. Molly has been selling homes and properties in Owasso for a long time and understands this market. Call Molly Jordan or find her on Facebook. Call her at 918-520-6015 today. Go Rams. Let's have a winning season in Owasso and call Molly Jordan.
Hello, Ram fans. This is Steve Holloman here for Duralast Roofing Specialists. Zach Harbaugh and his crew at Duralast was patient with me and my wife as we worked together during the process of getting us a roof for our home here in Owasso. Duralast Roofing did a great job with the roofing as well as with the cleanup. Duralast also helped us with the guttering options, and my wife was happy. Zach Harbaugh was on hand and involved throughout the entire process and made sure everything was done just right. Call Duralast Roofing Specialists for all your roofing needs.
At Owasso Coffee Company, it's all about bold flavors and big smiles. Located right down the street from Owasso High School in the Renaissance Shopping Center, Owasso Coffee Company focuses on delicious baked goods and quality handcrafted beverages featuring Rose Rock coffee products made right here in Oklahoma. Stop by or drive through today at Owasso Coffee Company, a proud supporter of Owasso Athletics.
Jeff and Shelley Waters of Waterstone Cleaners in Owasso and Tulsa are proud supporters of Owasso Athletics. Waterstone Cleaners has served this area since 2006, and they love all things Owasso. They offer dry cleaning and full laundry service at Waterstone Cleaners. Stop by the Owasso location at the corner of 96th and Garnett. In Owasso, go Rams! When chip happens, it's a good thing. That's because Chip Shepard with Shepard Technologies is the #1 computer repair and IT technician in Owasso. With expertise in firewall technologies, network design, server administration, and computer networking, Shepard Technologies is the answer to your tech needs. For more information, request a quote today, whenchiphappens.com.
There's barbecue, then there's barbecue. Trails Inn is the barbecue headquarters of the Owasso Rams. Owner and longtime Ram fan John Cash uses locally sourced ingredients, and their meats are cooked low and slow over pecan hardwood. Trails Inn Barbecue serves smoke-blasted barbecue that is long on flavor and short on pretense. Trails Inn Barbecue is here for all your dine-in and catering needs. Trails Inn Barbecue, located at 8888 North Garnett Road in Owasso. Proud supporter of Owasso Athletics.
With each passing moment, we're getting closer to game time, and it's the game of the week, according to our friends at the Tulsa World. Welcome back to the Bill Blankenship Show, powered by First United Mortgage. And, Coach, before we talk more about this matchup and get your keys to victory, I first want to say thanks to our friend J.D. Doris at First United Mortgage, really all of our partners for their support of the Owasso Sports Network and Owasso and the Owasso Rams.
You know, that's one of the things that makes Owasso special, Jared, is, you know, this community responds and supports our program in a magnificent way, and JD and his crew, but so many supporters, and you know, I'm just so appreciative to be here.
Absolutely. We're expecting a big crowd at Union Tuttle Stadium, and the ramifications of this one are high as we enter district play.
This is when it really matters. I think this is a game that will go a long ways to steering us towards who at least takes the reins in our district to lead. You know, you start off and you go, okay, who you got to beat? Well, it starts with Union. Right. So let's go there.
Right, yeah. First week of district play, and really one could say these are the two top teams in the district, have been for years. You know, we go all the way back to, I believe, your first year at Owasso. We had a double overtime thriller there at Union Tuttle Stadium. Coach, when you look at what your team has done statistically through the first 3 games of the season, plus this added week of rest and recuperation, you have to like how your program is positioned going into this game.
I absolutely do. I think again, the thing I like, I mentioned this a little bit before, is that we aren't hanging our hat on 1 or 2 guys offensively. I think the fact that we have a deeper, more spread out skill group gives us a lot more places to attack. I think that defensively, I like the balance that we have in the defensive line across the board. I don't think we allow people just to attack any one place. There are always matchups, and Coach Fred has been fabulous over the years in finding those matchups. Maddox, as his offensive coordinator, is legendary with it as well. We're going to have all we want, but I really like the preparation we've had all week. I think, again, our coordinators and staff have done a good job of getting a game plan that I think suits us.
Sure.
And so if we can just keep from giving up big plays and not letting them fool us into some gadget things, I look for us to play really hard and really well.
I haven't talked to them personally, but I would imagine your secondary probably enjoyed this bye week after the 3 matchups they've had, and really, you know, done a fantastic job with those 3 receiving cores. Offense averaging 45 points a game thus far this season. Defense really getting on track against Broken Arrow. I can't tell you how impressive the secondaries look considering the guys that they've had to match up against.
And you do. You have to really look at what we've done in the back end with Dom Franks leading that crew.
Definitely.
Brandon Ramsey's kind of been our bell cow. We've matched him up so far these first 3 games with number 1 receiver in Oklahoma, the number 1 receiver in Arkansas, and the number 2 receiver in Oklahoma. So
bad.
He's held his own.
And another test this week as well.
He will, and, you know, we're going to respond. And we have, and some of our folks that are looking at the game will pick up on this, but we award single digits to what we call our toughest competitors. Sure. And Brandon Ramsey will be wearing a single digit now.
Oh, that's great.
Earned that in these first 3 games and has continued to play very well. I think it's number 5. I don't remember which one it is, but he picked out his number. And then Keelan Carney also on the offensive side will start wearing number 1. And so we just think we're getting leadership in areas that we want to honor, and so as guys see them, they'll understand they're wearing a new jersey.
And real quick, Coach, when you talk about traditions, you know, maybe the Ohio State Buckeye sticker or whatever, that's a really neat tradition that you have with your program. Also, kind of on the front of the helmet, you've got HST.
Yeah.
What does that mean for your program, HST?
We've been talking this for going into 5 years now, but I don't have a lot of original thoughts. But I'm pretty good about taking ideas and getting to work with Justin Fuente at Memphis and now at Virginia Tech. They live by hard, smart, and tough. And so we've embraced that mantra from the get-go, hard, smart, and tough. And so we believe that's how you become the winner at the high level, is you got to play hard, and you've got to play smart, and you've got to play tough, and that's who we are. So HST reminds us of that. We'll wear that on our shirts and on our helmets, and every piece of that is what we want to be about.
Coach, kickoff is approaching between Owasso and Union High School. Before we let you go, what are your keys to victory this week?
As we look at this game, the common ones we always talk about are taking care of the ball, you know, turnovers, that kind of stuff. It's also limiting big plays. But in specifics, when we're talking about their offense, I think we've got to keep their quarterback from being able to scramble on us and get lots of first downs. He's a very mobile young man, so we've got to do a good job of keeping him in the pocket and creating some bad plays for him. Offensively, we've got to generate some chunk plays. plays. We cannot just rely on grinding it out. We're going to have to make some big plays.
Coach, thank you as always, and best of luck as we open district play against Union High School. When we come back, we'll welcome in the voice of Owasso, Steve Mowry, to the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth as we set the scene for this 6A1 district matchup and get ready for action down on the field. That's on the other side of this break. You're listening to the Owasso Ram pregame show on 100.1 KYFM.
Whether it's supporting Owasso football on Friday nights or making sure you're covered in life, State Farm agent Robert Long is there for you. When it comes to home, life, and auto insurance, go with the one who's supported the Rams since day one. Go with State Farm agent Robert Long, located on 86th Street in Owasso.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, don't trust your real estate needs to just any mom and pop company. At the Hopper Group, you get local market expertise with the backing of a worldwide network. Enjoy RE/MAX results with the Hopper Group.
Fun money. Everybody loves spending it. What would you do if TTCU gave you $200? Well, start thinking, because now you can earn a $200 bonus just for opening a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit with approved credit. Some restrictions apply.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth here at Union Tuttle Stadium. It is a beautiful night for football here in South Tulsa. Jared Gallagher with you in the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. I'd like to welcome in the voice of the Owasso Rams, the legendary Steve Mowry. And Steve, like I said, I couldn't ask for better conditions for a football game.
I mean, this is perfect for football. The fans still coming in here at this beautifully newly renovated stadium here at Union. Got the little Unionettes out on the field doing some cheers right now. And, Jared, you can really start to feel some of the excitement going on here. And these Owasso Rams, they don't come in scared anymore. They're coming in tonight looking for a win. Should be a great battle between number 1 and number 3.
You're right, Steve. There was a time in Owasso Rams history that this would be a daunting date that you're having to look toward coming into Union Tuttle Stadium. And now it just doesn't seem that. It seems like we're more prepared, we're more confident, ready to go in.
Well, and our team is more physical. Jordan Johnson, we talk about this, but the change that he has made with our athletes, our players, we see it all the time across the board up front. If you're on Twitter and you follow Owasso Athletics, our guys just look.
On your way down to the stadium tonight, there's still parking, as we can see from our perch high above. There's still parking across the street at Asbury United Methodist. There is construction, and we'll get into that later. There's some construction on the north end of the football facility here. They're not quite done with all of their renovations that I'm sure we'll talk about at some point during the night. But again, best place to park right across the street at Asbury. Come on over. Not much of a line right now at the ticket gate, so come on down and support your Owasso Rams. That is your Christian Brothers Automotive drive to the game. Christian Brothers Automotive keeps you rolling with expert maintenance and repair. Go see our friend Ray Adcock and his team at Christian Brothers Automotive on the corner of 96th and Garnett in Owasso. Now, Steve, let's get into our uniform report. It looks like we were worried about the Union uniforms a little bit, right. And we can see it's not as bad as we thought, but you know, we always have issues, especially as high as we are tonight, with some contrasting colors there. Right. But it looks like Union's going to go with the all-black look today.
With the red numerals and the red helmets, kind of the modern type helmets, more the, what would you call it, Jared, the glossy type look with the
kind of a mirror finish
Union
on it.
U on the side, and then those clean road unis for the Owasso Rams on the other side. White on white, the white jerseys with red numerals, double stripe down the side, and then, of course, that very recognizable red helmet with those white Ram horns as we see the captains come out to midfield for the coin toss.
That uniform report is brought to you by Stone Canyon Living Magazine. Thank you to Stone Canyon Living Magazine for providing our uniform report all season long. Rediscover nature and redefine home at www.stonecanyonliving.com.
Now, it looks like the Rams have won the toss, is going to be my guess.
And it looks like it's going to be Cole Adams, Chris McClellan, and Jacob Clifton are the captains for the Owasso Rams tonight.
Great atmosphere tonight, Jared. Coach Blankenship thought we could outnumber the Union fans at their home stadium, and that's about what Owasso is going to do as the Rams look into the sideline here.
Waiting for the coin toss to come in. We are about 6 minutes to kick off here, Steve, and people are still filing in. We're used to being on the west side of the east side of the stadium over there, looking into the sun. It's kind of nice, me being the first time broadcaster up here. It's kind of nice not having to look into the sun.
Right. And it looks like the Rams are going to win the toss. They will defer to the second half, so Union will receive. Rams will defend the south goal, which is the goal down by the UMAC, and Union will defend, as you mentioned, the yet-to-be-renovated scoreboard and north end zone outside the stadium here.
As Adams, McClellan, and Jacob Clifton are heading back to the huddle to run out with their team. Steve, let's get into our starting lineups, brought to you by Spotlight 918.
Maybe a couple of changes tonight, Jared, as we look, especially on the offensive line. Nolan Ackenhausen is going to move over to left tackle. Logan Earwood is going to be at the left guard. Tyron Collins will be at the center, and Jacob Smitty at right guard. It'll be Ryan Case moving up into the right tackle position. At wide receivers, you're going to have Cole Adams, Ronnie Thomas, Keelan Carney, and Jeray Austin. Jackson Woods will be your tight end. We do have Derek Overstreet back tonight, but it looks like Emery Neely will start in the backfield for Coach Blankenship, and then Austin Havens will be tonight's starting quarterback for Owasso. On the defensive side, not much change there as well. It'll be Gage Smith at defensive end, Tyler Rich at the defensive tackle, and Michael Jamerson will join him. Chris McClellan, the guy's got 36 offers from schools across the nation. I just tell people now he can basically pick wherever he wants to go.
Yeah.
Doing a fantastic job. Jake Clifton, one of our captains here tonight, will be the inside linebacker along with Brody Dorse. Then we're going to have Braden Foster. He'll be playing the Ram position. Out on the corners, it'll be Brandon Ramsey at one corner. On the other side, Corbin Green will move up to the corner spot. He's been doing a good job, as Chance Milgate, I think, still kind of working his way back from an injury. And then at the safeties, it'll be Jake Adams and Cody Chase trying to keep I almost did it, didn't I? To keep Union from going with the long ball. I promised I was going to call them.
One.
Yep, I got that out of the way. The Bison or the Red Hawks, whatever.
Yeah, Bison/Red Hawks.
Okay, so.
And we'll probably interchange those throughout the night.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
We are 3.5 minutes to kick off. Let's take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll get the Kohler Jewelry Keys to Victory and your kickoff. You're listening to the Owasso Sports Network on 100.1 KYFM.
It's district football time in Oklahoma. It's your Owasso Rams versus Union. Here we go. Live from Union Tunnel Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is Ram Football.
Well, I think tonight, Jared, there's going to be a couple of key areas that I'm concerned with. One, I think our defensive line has got to set the tone, and by doing that, Grayson Tempest, who is very elusive, he's a good quarterback, sometimes does more with his legs than his arm, and if there's one area on defense, I feel like maybe we've been challenged. It's maintaining the quarterback in the pocket. And then it's going to be fun to watch the matchup between the Owasso receivers and the Union secondary. And I think the guy that's going to be the X factor in the game tonight, if we can keep him under control, is Rovon Banks. You know, Banks was a quarterback, and they've moved him out. They kind of just move him out everywhere. Running back, wide receiver slot, whatever. So if the Rams, I think it's one of those, Jared, if the Rams do what they do, I watched some of the Union football show. They had double digits in penalties last week. Jinx had double digits in penalties last week. The Rams had double digits in penalties. Yeah. So I think penalties are going to play, because we saw against Broken Arrow, their penalties were more critical to the Tigers breaking drives than it was to Owasso. Sure. This is a little bit different game here tonight. You got to play sharp and sound.
3 games in, and the Union High School has 25 penalties on the year for more than 200 yards. So yeah, the very, very critical penalties there. We're gonna have to limit those on both sides of the ball for the Owasso Rams. Those are your Kohler Jewelry keys to victory. Owasso's home for fine jewelry is John E. Kohler Jewelry Designs. Go see John and his team on the Owasso Expressway at Tyann Plaza. As we count it down to 0, the Owasso Rams are getting set for kickoff.
That'll be Jake Adams that'll tee it up for Owasso at the Ram 40-yard line. I don't see much breeze out here tonight, Jared. We look at the flags on the goalposts. There's not a lot of movement there, so hopefully he can get this first one out of the end zone.
And it's going to be Rovon Banks and Junior Smith, another one to watch out for. They're kind of a dual threat running back, Steve. Tandem right there. Junior Smith, 5'11", 168, and Rovon Banks, 5'11", 185. A little bit bigger, both seniors for this football team.
Great night for football. Weather is beautiful here. I think for the most part we're out of the deep heat and humidity. And we are getting ready for kickoff here at Union. It is a TV game, so we're going to have to maneuver around some of the TV timeouts. And the kickoff by Adams, it's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line. Runs to the right across the 10 and almost dragged down across the 20 and knocked out of bounds. And that's where the Redskins will take over 1st and 10. I did it again. I'll try to stay with Union. I beg your pardon here this evening. I've been doing that too long. So for the Rams, they'll line up on defense.
Steve, that was good pursuit there by Jake Clifton, the captain for the Owasso Rams, and eventually knocked out of bounds by number 50, Kunta Jordan. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Union at their own 22-yard line.
So I guess we went to a break there for a moment. Nope, they're going to come back out onto the field. You can catch this streaming on YouTube at Owasso Sports Network.
And, Steve, you talk about that front four for Owasso, Chris McClellan, Michael Jamerson, Tyler Rich, and Gage Smith. That's, again, imperative to keep the quarterback in contain most of the night and try to limit these big plays on the ground.
Double tight end, play action pass, try to throw upfield into the flat. Defended well there by Braden Foster. Short gain on the play. Give Union about 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
No fooling Braden Foster there. Just 4 yards. Good to keep it in front of him.
But again, that time, Jared, we see Tempest use the play action to be able to spin out and roll to his right. Very dangerous. Got to keep an eye on him. Banks is over here in the slot. No empty backfield. Tempest looking downfield. He's going to look across the middle, fade out to his right, and then he throws the pass. It's caught there. I believe that's his tight end, and a group of Rams will come in for the tackle. That's going to be Gino Boyd.
Gino Boyd, 5'10", sophomore, and he was wide open on that play. He could have been off to the races if he was able to hit him in stride, but in any case, it is a 1st down after about a 12-yard gain.
So Tempest will come back and line up again. The Union's going to go heavy on the left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the far side. Ball on the right hash. Tempest looking to his right, throws it wide over the middle. They're busted coverage that time, and Gino Boyd is finally tackled at the 20, but Jared, the secondary got fooled that time as everybody went to the left. Boyd was wide open. That was an easy catch and throw for a big play there by Union.
Yeah, and Corbin Green just got beat on that play, and, is what it is, big play. And now, as we're getting close to the red zone here at the Owasso 22-yard line, You're going to have to see it tighten up a little bit.
Junior Smith in the backfield. He's deep about 7 yards. Tempest turns, hands the ball off to him. He'll run off the right side and finally tackled there by Braden Foster. Gain of about maybe 2 or 3 on the play.
Going to give him 6 yards on that.
Wow,
Steve.
I didn't see that on that. So
must have been a good push by the offensive line
absolutely.
there to get 6 yards.
So 2nd and 3. Hurry up. Union up to the line. Handoff again to Banks. He's going to try to run up the middle. He's got some room as the Rams were pushed outside. Finally tackled there by Chris McClellan.
Yeah, Tyler Rich also in on that tackle.
It's going to be 3rd and short. Not enough for the first down. Banks to the right of Tempest. 3 receivers to the left.
Big 3rd down and short here. This is where you earn your stripes.
Nice snap. Tempest looks to his left. He finds a receiver, breaks a tackle, and taken down there. It's going to be enough for the first down, and they're really looking for Geno Boyd here in this first quarter on this first drive.
Already his 3rd catch. He's probably got 50 or 60 yards, I would imagine, just on this drive. 60 yards on this drive on 3 catches, and not a name we were expecting to see this early on.
So that'll bring up a 1st and goal as the Union football team inside the Ram 10. Tempest under center, turns, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He's got a short receiver underneath and in the end zone, and it's dropped. It hit his receiver in the chest. I think that was Junior Smith.
Yeah, and Corbin Green may have gotten a hand on it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. He came right across and overran the pass, but may have got a piece of it to kind of get that off kilter and throw the receiver off.
Well, the good news is he dropped the pass, but actually, Jared, there were 2 receivers open there on the right side. 3-player stack on the right. Tempest hands off to Robon Banks, goes to his left, tries to cut inside, but he cuts into Chris McClellan, and he won't go any farther, but then second effort is going to push him down to about the Ram 3-yard line.
When you try to go one-on-one with a guy like Chris McClellan, it's usually not going to work out very well for you.
Want to get low. Union right back up to the line.
3rd down and goal here, Steve.
They're going to spot it at the 4-yard line for Owasso. This is a big down here for the Rams. Tempest with an empty backfield, 2 receivers left, 3 to the right. Look for him to roll to the right. He does. Looks for a receiver underneath. He's going to try to run it in, and he makes it in. A dive by Grayson Tempest, and that's a pretty solid drive for Union here on their opening drive.
Yeah, and you see that speed from Grayson Tempest there. And quickness, just to roll out, not see any options. He said, I'm just going to take it with my legs.
Well, and we talked about that in the pregame, Jared. You've got to keep him contained, and he made the Rams pay. Honestly, I think he probably had a receiver open that he could have thrown the ball as well, as the Union will attempt the extra point. It is up, and it's good. So on the first drive, Union able to drive 78 yards for the first score of the game. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. You're listening to Ram Football here on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hello, can you help me?
Okay, great. Can I get cash back in 5 to 10?
Thank you. Have a great day.
There are currently 2 million American spouses and children whose family member was killed or disabled in defense of our country, which is why I founded the Folds of Honor, providing educational scholarships to the families of 1% of the Americans who protect our freedom.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor. Please join our squadron today. Your $13 a month speaks volumes and changes lives forever.
The Union football team able to drive 78 yards on 9 plays and did that in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Grayson Tempest, the quarterback, finishes it off with a 4-yard touchdown run, and it's Union 7, Owasso 0 here in the early going. Rams getting ready to receive the kickoff.
Cole Adams and Jeray Austin are back to receive for the Rams.
And, of course, you mentioned in the pregame, Jeray had a big game last year against the Union football team.
Cole Adams didn't play in this game last year, so you know he's itching to get on the field.
He's fired up. I think we're waiting to come back from a TV commercial. Jared, your thoughts on that first drive?
Well, it was methodical is what it was, and there was one big passing play where the sophomore wide receiver was able to get behind the secondary, but other than that, it kind of surprising. It looked like Union was able to just kind of do what they wanted to do on that.
Sure did. So we'll see when the Rams come back out on defense if they make any adjustments. Right now, getting ready to receive this kickoff, and that one is going to be received there by Cole Adams at the 2-yard line. He's going to come out. He's across the 15, the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Down inside the Union 40-yard line, and if you want a response, there it is. Cole Adams says, I'll bring us back and shorten this field.
Hey, talk about field vision, Steve.
Wow.
Unbelievable. He stayed patient, waited on his blocks, found a hole, and he was off to the races.
I don't know that Union really expected his speed as he split a couple of tacklers there across the way.
Oh, you think about it, last time they saw him, he was a sophomore.
Right. So Rams will take over 1st and 10 at the Union 41-yard line. Austin,
check that, a freshman.
He was a freshman, that's right. Dawson Adams was a little bit older. Havens throws it out to the right. Caught there by Bronny Thomas, gets a good block, gets to the outside across the 30, and we're going to have our first flag of the game. It's going to be a hold here on the outside, and so it begins.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get Jeray Austin for holding on a little bit too long there on the outside.
Good play set up. It's basically a wide receiver screen to the outside, 3 receivers. One jumps back and catches the ball, and then you just kind of get your speedsters in space. That's going to back the Rams up from the spot.
Yeah, Steven, you just got to know when to let go there on that hold. And
I think they were going to give it to him, but you mentioned he just held too long.
That's right.
So it'll be 1st and 15 after the penalty is marked off. Havens hands the ball off up the middle. Not much running room there. Derek Overstreet getting to see some action here in this game. Give him about 5 on the play. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, and good on the offensive line to get somewhat of a hold there and let Derek Overstreet kind of get his legs warmed up. He has not played here in a few weeks.
No, and that extra bye week helped him get better, but probably trying to get back in football shape. He'll stay in the backfield for the Rams. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Havens. And we've got some movement up front. It may be a procedure call against Owasso. So 3 plays, Jared, and 2 penalties. We talked about the mental errors. You get a good gain on 1st down, and you get a penalty from that. And then compound that after a gain of 5 by losing 5 on the procedure.
Yeah, like you said in pregame, Steve, the Rams averaging, 8, 10 penalties a game so far this season, and it's not really affected us too bad. This is a game where it could affect us.
Yes. 3 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Overstreet comes out to the left. Havens looks to his right, throws a middle screen coming across. That's going to be Carney. He's going to be hit hard at about the 38-yard line. Carney with the new number. I had to think about that for a moment.
And Steve, the beauty of these receivers, these 4 guys that the Owasso Rams have that we're going to go to all night long, is they have such good field vision. They don't necessarily need the blockers out there.
Right.
They know how to,
They can shake and bake and get around you.
They can weave. And that was a situation there where Keelan Carney was able to weave his way for about 8 yards.
So it'll be 3rd and about 8. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Havens with an empty backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Now Cole Adams goes in motion into the backfield, takes the handoff, runs out to the right, cuts up field, but there's no room there. Well defended that time. Ball is on the ground, and the Union has recovered the fumble.
We're going to see, they say he was... No, they say he did recover the fumble, and it was a live ball, so... It looked for a second as they were going to
That's what I thought they
It looked
did.
like he was pointing to the ground. I thought they were going to call it down.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a what you could call disastrous start for the Owasso Rams.
Yeah, you can't get off any worse than that, and certainly don't expect Cole Adams to put the ball on the turf. So Union will come out and take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Tempest in the backfield, hands the ball off. There's running room to the right side. That looks to be Junior Smith again.
He's got the blockers just around the outside, able to get 9 yards on the play.
And surprisingly, Jared, we're getting moved a little bit up front. Tempest in the shotgun. Smith to his right. Going to hand it off to the left, and well defended there, but it may be enough for a first down as Smith able to get across midfield. That was just a run off left tackle.
That's right. He needed 1. He got 2, so that'll be a 1st down and 10 right at midfield for Union. A better job there from the front four for Owasso to kind of contain and limit the yardage.
And typically, Chris McClellan will draw a lot of attention, and so the other three, especially Michael Jamerson, has got to get active in the run game. Tempest with the snap, hands off, and it's blown up right there by Jake Clifton. Oh my goodness, Clifton was there before the ball was even handed off.
Looking like Troy Polamalu coming over the middle right there. Unbelievable anticipation by Jake Clifton.
That's what you call blowing up the play in the backfield.
Loss of 5, Steve.
Yeah, 2nd and 15, and now an empty backfield, so the secondary is going to have to play tight. Let's see if we bring pressure again. They're coming up like they're acting to. Here they come. Up the middle, quick throw to the outside. Caught, missed a tackle, and going upfield is the receiver. That's going to be Lane Wood, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Jared, the little things that you can't let happen. You set yourself up for success. It was just a short dump play. If the tackle is made, the Rams are in good shape. As it is, the Union football team able to come over a long down and distance.
Yeah, you go for the legs there on the tackle. He just jumps over you, and he's able to get 20 yards.
Now, Union with a tight formation. Tempest will turn around, fake the handoff, roll to his right. He'll just throw it underneath. It's there all day. I mean, he's got 2 receivers coming out to the right. One is going long, and then the slot receiver, Lane Wood, is just breaking about 5 yards and down. I mean, that's only 2 yards on the play, but it's better than 0 or a loss.
And when you're making guys like Chris McClellan run 20 yards on that play in pursuit, it's going to get him tired, wear him down.
2nd and about 8, ball at the Owasso 28-yard line. Tempest fakes the hands off, looks left. He's got a receiver. It's caught again, and finally caught there. I believe that's Ja'Gree Jenkins, I believe, on the reception. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for Union.
Yeah, Brandon Ramsey on the one-on-one coverage there. Good job from Ramsey not to let him go there. You know, I know that's tough. Hang on to that tackle sometimes, especially if you don't have position on the tackle, but it was a good job, strong by Brandon Ramsey.
So Tempest with 2 receivers to the right that are stacked. Now one goes in motion right to left. They just do the front toss. That's actually a pass, and now we got a flag on the far side of the field, and that's probably going to be holding against Union.
Yeah, Jake Clifton was able to toss him out of bounds before he got to the line to gain, so it should be 4th down anyway. We'll see what Coach Blankenship wants to do here.
I think he'll take this penalty because I feel like this may be 4-down territory for Coach Frederick.
Especially the way Union's moving the ball right now. You've got to take advantage of those situations.
4:02 to go here in the first quarter. Union scored on their first drive. This is their second possession. They lead Owasso 7-0. Tempest with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. 2 to the left. Rams bring pressure off the right side. They lost the ball down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. As the ball hit Foster, I believe that's who it was, in the back of the head. Yeah, he had to go into coverage. He was there step for step, but he didn't really turn back and look for the ball, but the ball was underthrown, and so it hit him in the back.
And there you go, Steve. You kind of take that gamble on the, not so much a gamble on the holding penalty, but now instead of 4th and short, it's 4th and 15.
Yeah, and they're going to at least show like they're going to go for it. A different setup here with 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, empty backfield. This may be a quarterback draw. Tempest rolls out to his right. He's looking downfield. He's got a deep receiver. He's being pursued, and he can't get it to his receiver as he's shoved out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So a victory for this Owasso defense to get out of here without letting Union have any points on the board. Union putting themselves in a desperate spot after that holding call.
They just got to throw the ball away there. Great pursuit there by the Owasso defensive line. I didn't catch who that was in pursuit.
Jared, a little surprised that Union tried to go for it there with the distance and not try to at least pin Owasso down inside the 15, maybe the 10-yard line. Going to have a TV timeout. We'll take one with them. You're listening to Owasso football here on 100.1 KYFM. Welcome back to Union. I want to thank our first quarter sponsor, Bailey Golf Ranch, or Bailey Ranch Golf. Corey Bird doing a great job. Appreciate him. As the Rams will come out onto the field 1st and 10 as they hold on downs. They'll take over at their own 37-yard line. Austin Havens in at quarterback, calls his tight end in. Try to hand it up to Overstreet over that left side and gets about 4 on the play. So a good running play off left tackle for Overstreet. He's been close a couple of times about getting to that second level, and we know he's dangerous as well out in the open space. Rams just need to settle down, put together a drive, and they should be fine. 7-0 Union.
And Steve, 4 yards on first down. That's not a bad play at all. That's what you're looking for out of first down.
Havens in shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Overstreet in the backfield. Now Havens will look at the sideline and get the play called in. Jackson Woods at the tight end on the right side. Havens hands off to Overstreet on the right side. He's got a little bit of room, puts his head down, and is across the 45-yard line, maybe to the 46, just short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Steve, that was Emory Neely coming in, sneaking in on us there, the running back, and Devin Robinson for Union on the tackle.
So Neely going to go out wide to the right with 2 other receivers. Empty backfield, single receiver here to the left. Havens may do a quarterback sneak, and that's exactly what it is. He's going to run up the middle, and Jarrett gets caught in the backfield. Took too much time, and boy, it's a big decision time here early for Coach Blankenship. That's going to be a loss of 1.5 on the play. That'll back the Rams up to their own 45-yard line, and, you know, I think this early in the game, Coach Blankenship may try to make a statement here as he's going to come in with a jumbo set, and we've seen him talk about this. He gets his big defensive lineman in, Chris McClellan, in the game. They're going to hand it off to the right side, and it's going to be
That's Neely. It's
enough
close,
for
but
a
I think
first
he's got
down,
it.
I believe. They just blew that right side up. And they're going to give the Rams a first down.
And really, Steve, that's a buck-up play right there. When you're looking, defensive line's been pushed around a little bit. Offensive line just got pushed around there on that 3rd down and 1.
Well, and if you turn the ball over on downs there, then it doesn't look as good. So the Rams 1st and 10, a Duralast roofing specialist first down. Handoff running across to the right, caught in the backfield. And they're going to say he was down. I'm guessing that was Jeray Austin on the carry. He reversed field, but I guess when he spun, must have touched the ground with his knee. So a loss of 4 on the play. That'll be 2nd and 14. About time to see if the Rams don't try to do something deeper to loosen up this run support from the secondary.
You've got 8 in the box right now. They're really forcing Owasso to throw the ball.
And tried to throw it out over the left side. Ronnie Thomas was coming left to right. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but Thomas wasn't going to go anywhere as he was well covered that time.
It's big Demarion Thomas that got a call on that 6'4", 344 pounds.
Might want to stay out of his way.
So 3rd down and long for the Rams at the 43-yard line.
Looking to try to get into a rhythm. They just haven't seemed to click so far. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Now they bring Cole Adams across to the backfield, back out to the outside, throw it to the right side. Adams gets a block on the outside. He's got some room. He's breaking away across the 40, the 30. It's a foot race. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Cole Adams showing that speed. He caught that about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Had about 17 yards to get the first down. He went for 35 or 40, and that's a State Farm agent Casey Miller first down as the Rams are now at the Union 21-yard line, almost in red zone territory.
1st and 10 on a big gain, and that seemed to juice up the Rams sideline a little bit. Fans filling in on the far side. Havens in shotgun. Neely in the backfield. Hands the ball off. Actually, that's Overstreet, and he's going to be caught, but he spins up. Maybe got 2 on the play. Looked like he might lose 1 to begin with, but he spun around and salvaged that into a gain.
Yeah, hit at or behind the line of scrimmage there and was just able to kind of spin his way out and dive forward for a yard.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. And timeout has been called on the field. We'll take one with them. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. That's the end of the quarter as we get ready for second quarter action. You're listening to Ram Football here on the Owasso Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jason Griffin.
And I'm Dr. Caleb Nunley.
And we at Tulsa Bone & Joint are happy to be the team physicians for the
Owasso Rams.
I'm Dexter Millsap.
And I'm Zach McGinty, and we are the athletic trainers for the Owasso Rams.
Here's some of the services that we provide in the Tulsa Bone & Joint Athletic Training Facility.
Welcome back to Union as we get ready for second quarter action. Teams coming back out onto the field. But, Jared, before we do that, update our first quarter stats.
Owasso 8 of 8 rushes for just 10 yards. 3 for 4 passing for 48 yards. Gained by that big Cole Adams pass in the backfield there. Only 58 total yards, Steve, in the first quarter. Not really what we're used to from this high-powered Owasso offense. For Union, 7 rushes, 23 yards, 7 of 10 passing from Grayson Tempest for 93 yards. That's 116 total yards. First downs, Union has 5, Owasso just 2. And the big stat in the first quarter, Owasso penalties, 2 for 15 yards.
Yeah, I mean, on that first drive, they just kept shooting themselves in the foot, unable to get anything going. They've come out here on this drive and seem to have found a little bit of a rhythm, but you got to credit Union's defense. They've done a good job of gap control and not letting anybody, get away up front. It seems like those out patterns are really going to be most effective for the Rams if they can get out in space with their speedy receivers. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Rams. Ball at the 20-yard line. Havens.
New quarterback.
Actually, it's Willingham at quarterback. Usually indicates a run. He hands it off. It's going to be a reverse. Jere Austin coming around to the left. Willingham in front. Throws a block. Austin's caught from behind, but not after he gains about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, and just waiting for that play to develop. Good job by Willingham to get out there on that block. Jere was caught from behind, but not before he got 6 or 7 yards.
So it'll be 3rd and about 4 on the play as the ball is moved down to the 15-yard line. They need to get to the 11-yard line for a first down here, just starting the second quarter. Havens will come back in at quarterback. Now 3 receivers to the right. They're going to be stacked. One of those is Overstreet. He's going to run back and line up behind the tight end on the right. Havens is going to roll out to his right. He's looking for Adams. There's nothing there. He's still looking. Finally throws it back to, actually that was Keelan Carney, but again, well defended. That play took so long to develop, Jared, it allowed the defenders to catch back up to the receivers.
And that's one thing we're kind of noticing here, Steve. These plays are taking longer than normal to develop. And it's allowing that defense to kind of readjust, get back into position, and play good defense.
So that'll bring up 4th down, and Jake Adams will come on and attempt a field goal. He'll line up at the 22-yard line, so a 32-yard field goal. Cole Adams gets the snap. The kick is up, and if it gets there, it's no good. It's far to the left, wide left. So the Rams come away with no points on that drive as Union will take over 1st and 10.
Steve, second quarter sponsor, we'd like to thank Duralast Roofing Specialists. Get total protection that's guaranteed, built to last with Zach Harbaugh and Duralast Roofing Specialists. Owasso's roofing experts. Request a quote today at 918-906-7800.
Well, to say the least, that's disappointing as the Rams come away empty that time. Defense back out onto the field. Union 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Tempest hands off to his left. There's a little bit of running room, and it's going to be a gain of about 5.
Yeah, and Chris McClellan in on that tackle. Man, he is so strong.
Yeah.
Able to reach over to his side and just bring the ball carrier down, but not before a 5-yard gain.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Union. Tempest with a lone back, 3 receivers to the right. Jake Clifton showing blitz. Now he's moving out, and he fills the hole beautifully. Can't quite finish it off. I believe that's
Michael Jamerson in on the tackle. But again, Steve, Jake Clifton doing a great job of filling one of those blocking holes and forcing the ball carrier to cut back at the line of scrimmage. Running into a guy like Michael Jamerson's usually not going to work out very well for you.
I mean, it was almost like Clifton was spying the running back. We talk about spying the quarterback, but that time he just followed the running back and filled the hole beautifully. 3rd and 2 for Union. They'll hand off again, go to the right side. There's room, and it's going to be a first down as the ball crosses the Union 35-yard line. And on the run that time is Rovon Banks. And Jared, surprisingly, Union is just smashing the football between the tackles right now.
It is, and Rovon Banks, you can't give him that opportunity to get into the linebacker and secondary positions because he's got the speed. He can break a big one.
He's going to remain at running back. Tempest under center. Ball at the 35, 1st and 10. He fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, looking for his receiver Smith again. He's not there as the ball's thrown out of bounds. So the incomplete pass intended for Gino Boyd again.
I think that was...
Yeah, that was Lane Wood. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And again, Steve, Grayson Tempest not necessarily known for his passing abilities so far. He's only got 400 yards on the year.
Time for a pick. Throws to his left, and the ball is dropped.
That one intended for number 3, Jakari Jenkins.
So, again, a couple of drops have really hurt the Union football team.
Yeah, just going for a screen, and it looked like they had blockers set up. He just dropped it.
So 3rd and 10, want to keep the safeties alert here as we play 2 deep. Jake Adams and Cody Chase. It's 7-0. Union over Owasso, 9:18 on the clock here in the second quarter. Tempest with an empty backfield. Gets a high snap. He's looking downfield. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's being flushed to his left. He's going to try to take off running. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
Ooh, buddy, when you've got Michael Jamerson and Chris McClellan in pursuit, that's probably your best option. Just go run over to the sideline.
They can run with you.
Hide behind coach.
Yeah, those dudes are fast. So that'll bring up a 4th and 9 as Union will come out for what appears to be a punt. Cole Adams will go back and line up at the Ram 28-yard line to receive.
9:10 remaining here in the first half.
Now Union with a man in motion, but they will punt it. Nice high spiraling punt. Cole Adams is signaling fair catch, and he got run into. I have no idea, Jared Gallagher, how you don't throw a flag on that. Cole Adams is attempting to catch a fair catch and basically got his legs chopped out from under him by one of the Union football players in coverage.
Owasso coaching staff not very happy about that one because I've never seen that before. You have to protect.
Well, then your feel is your fear is that could have been a fumble.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they weren't going to do that.
Well, it looked like it was a live ball the whole way. You needed Cole Adams to go jump on that. And instead of a personal foul, it's 1st down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Havens in the pocket, throws over to Carney on the right side, and he can't catch the football. Fortunately, that was a forward pass as Union players were jumping on the football. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Rams at their own 24-yard line where the ball was spotted.
Trying to get that short passing game working so you can get into some sort of a rhythm offensively.
Now you got Ronnie Thomas in single coverage here on the near side. 3 receivers to the right. And then I believe Cole Adams on the left side. Going in motion is Emory Neely to the left. Empty backfield. Havens with the snap. He's going to look downfield, and he's going to be caught in the backfield, and he's going to be slammed to the ground for a sack.
Yeah, probably not the best decision to step up into that pocket as it was collapsing fast.
That was R.J. Wilson, 6'3", 223-pound junior.
A loss of 6 on the play, so all of a sudden it's 3rd down and long.
And, Jared, this high-potent Ram offense, just a couple of plays, they have not really found their rhythm as of yet. Offensive line got to stand up front. Here's the snap to Havens. Throws it out to the left to Neely, and he's not going to be able to get outside. Doesn't have any blockers, but 2 defenders who just throw him out of bounds, almost like we just conceded and was willing to punt.
And credit to Union for coming out ready to play tonight. This defense, I know that was one thing Coach Blankenship was concerned about, was all of their high-powered ability to play the game, but weren't really expecting this.
Right. So the Rams in punt formation. Cody Chase will punt for Owasso. Back deep is Jakiri Jenkins. It's going to be a short punt. Jenkins comes up. Jared, that's a punt of maybe 22 yards. So Union's going to start with a short field in good field position where they take over 1st and 10 at the Owasso 41-yard line. So another disappointing drive there by the Rams. Doing a lot of side-to-side motion. I know you're trying to get some guys in the clear, but every now and then you got to go north and south.
That's right. We really haven't had a whole lot of opportunities or time for the quarterback, Austin Havens, to get those receivers free and throw it down the field.
So a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 8:03 to go here in the second quarter. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. You're listening to Ram Football here on the Owasso Sports Network. To Union, here between the Rams and Union football team. I'm Steve Mowry, alongside my wingman Jared Gallagher. Rob Williams punching the numbers.
Look at that, Steve. We're looking at the stats by Rob Williams. Owasso averaging 0.9 yards per carry.
Can't get it done that way. 1st and 10, Union with the ball with the run off the left side. It's going to be just another 5-yard gain. And Jared, they're just they're finding where McClellan is lining up, and they are just manning up on the other side.
And it's just a ground and pound, and it's working really well for Union.
So Gage Smith and Tyler Rich are going to have to stiffen up. Tyler Rich right over the center. Tempest comes up under center. Hands off to Banks, and he's got some room before he's met. I believe that was Brody Doris on the tackle, but that'll be enough for a first down. Again, Jared, they're just chipping away 5 and 6 yards at a time. Why would you do anything different if you can't find a way to stop it?
That's right. Again, a ground and pound, and defensive coordinator Antonio Graham is scratching his head, trying to figure out how we're going to adjust to this, as we've got 7 minutes left in the first half, and they're driving, trying to take a 14-0 lead.
So 1st and 10 at the Ram 28-yard line. Tempest under center again. Rams showing blitz. Now Union brings a man in motion. They hand off to the left side. Banks, he's got some room, and he's just tripped up there. That was Braden Foster, who just got a shoestring and tripped up Banks. But right now, that's a gain of 8 on first down. Ball spotted right in front of us here at the 20-yard line, 2nd and 2. And again, Jared, we're going to have to find a way to smash somebody in the backfield.
Yeah, look, Steve, I'll take 8 yards over 6 points, because that was 6 points if we didn't get anything.
Yeah, you're right.
If we didn't get that tackle.
Tempest with the single receiver out to the right. He's under center again. I thought we had some movement. Ball's on the ground, but I believe Tempest may have gotten to it first. Rams are saying it's their football. Referees are coming in to look at it. Let's see who comes up with it. There may be a scrum at the bottom of the pile. And Union maintains possession. And that can be the problem with coming up under center when maybe you're not as used to that, as that was just a fumble on the exchange between center and quarterback. That moves the ball back about 3 yards to the Ram 22-yard line. 3rd and 4. Same formation. They're going to go jumbo on the left side. You got to think that's where they're going to run, and we got a whistle on the play before the snap.
Owasso's going to call a timeout.
So a Ram timeout here with 5:37 to go in the second quarter. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. You're listening to Ram Football here on your Owasso Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast Booth. 5:37 remaining in the second quarter between the Owasso Rams and Union High School here at Union Tuttle Stadium. It is 3rd down and 4. And, Steve, that was a big opportunity there for the Rams. Nonetheless, got the stop whenever Grayson Tempest fumbled the snap there up under center.
Yeah, and you know, Jared, a lot of these high school kids, they're not really accustomed to coming up under center because most of your snaps are in pistol, shotgun type formation. So you got to wonder how much they practice that. That being said, Grayson Tempest, he's the son of Tony Tempest. Well, Tony Tempest was Kirk Frederick's offensive coordinator at Owasso, and Grayson was just a little dude running around the Owasso field, not as fast as he is here. But Tony Tempest, an administrator here at Union, welcoming us here this evening, and certainly appreciate his and his crew. And the Rams coming back out onto the field. And they're going to go with a 5-man front defensive line, Jared. We haven't seen Rams do that this year.
Not yet.
Tempest under center. See if it's the set play, trying to call. Nope, they're going to put a man in motion. Turn around, hand off. Busted up in the backfield, trying to get to the outside is Banks. He's not going to get there. It's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play. Great pursuit that time by Gage Smith. There was another Ram on the play. Might have been Jake Clifton.
Steve, we've got a flag down. I'm not sure what this is going to be. I could have sworn Chris McClellan was being held in the backfield, but it's not where the flag was, so we'll have to see.
So here's something, Jared. Do you take this? I guess we do.
I guess we're taking it.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it on Grayson Tempest to maybe have to try to pass the ball here on 3rd and long.
That was going to make it a 4th down, and they lost 2 yards on the play. So I am not second guessing Coach Blankenship. I'm just saying there was a scenario that was a possibility.
It's not our position.
I
to do
agree
that.
with whatever he did.
Well, it's either 4th and 6 or 3rd and 15 or 16. Yeah, so
that'll back the ball out to the Owasso 33-yard line. Tempest under center. Single back. Fakes the reverse handoff, throws a screen to the right side, and it's read beautifully. Ball is on the ground. Rams are saying they came up with it. I think they're going to say he was down, but Jake Clifton read it beautifully and just blows that play up.
Yeah, and that was really a best-case scenario for Union there because nothing was happening on that play. Incomplete pass was the best possible option.
Great job by the senior linebacker, 6'3", 205. Kansas State's got to love what they are seeing out of their future commit.
And the offense is staying on the field, Steve. It's 4th down and 15 from the 33-yard line.
3 receivers to the left. Empty backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Tempest goes back in the pocket. He's looking downfield. He's going to take off. He's going to run to his left. Flag is down on the play. Tempest is going to pick up the 1st down, and, we're going to have a late hit out of bounds. Let's see, and we got a late flag. Jared, you can't do that. He was off the white and out of bounds, and that's going to be offsetting penalties unless that's a live ball foul a dead ball foul, then that's going to change things.
We'll have to see because you could have let him score at that point because that was a holding coming all the way back. That is the absolute last thing that could have happened.
Absolutely. So you've got a holding call against Union, and then let's see if it's a dead ball personal foul. Okay. That should be an automatic 1st down, I believe. Not a 1st down?
So they back it up 10 yards and then mark forward 15.
Right.
But I don't think it's an automatic 1st down.
Okay, well, let's see. Rob disagrees with me.
Let's see. Rob is thinking we'll back it up 10 yards and then we'll move it up 15 yards. So it should play, according to Rob Williams, a 4th down and 10. Is that correct? He's nodding yes, so we'll see.
Coach Blankenship wants an explanation from the referee.
That really wasn't that late of a hit, Steve. Was that the angle? Because was he on the white? Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was. I mean, I was hoping he wouldn't throw the penalty, but it was there.
Okay.
So let's see, Jared. I don't know if they're going to take a timeout or what they're doing here. It appears like there may be a break of action out on the field. 4:55 to go here before halftime. Owasso 7, or Union 7, Owasso 0. Coach Fred, he's got some questions to ask about too. I don't know what he could be asking about here because they're going to enforce the holding call, and then they're going to enforce the personal foul call. I think he was just trying to work the referee now to try to get it to be started down here where he was knocked out of bounds.
Sure.
Still having a discussion. Coaches are never happy, though, are they?
No, never, especially in a situation like this when both teams are in the wrong.
So we'll get ready to have the official declaration here. So the referee is going to spot the ball at the Owasso 29-yard line. Rob Williams proves to be correct again, as it'll be 4th and 11. Union will keep their offense out on the field. Wide side of the field. Ball's on the left hash with a single receiver out on the right side. Lone back to the right of Tempest. See if he doesn't try to roll to his right. He's looking downfield deep. A lot of room open. He throws it over the middle, and it's broken up. Jake Clifton, once again, he is having a game of the night here at Union.
Absolutely riding on Jake Clifton's back right now. He's all over the field. And that is a turnover on downs. Owasso's going to get a chance to score here with 4:49 remaining in the half.
How big would that be if the Rams could take this in and tie this game up, as lethargic as they've been offensively here in the first half?
Tell you what, Steve, it feels a lot like that Oklahoma State-Boise State game where Oklahoma State had no business being in the lead going into halftime, but that's what happened. If Owasso can go down here, move the ball a little bit, get some points, even if it's 3, let's get some points on the board before we go into the half.
Did you stay up for that game?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I did not. Sorry. Havens in at quarterback. He'll hand the ball off to Neely over the left side, and he's going to put his head down and run over one of the linebackers. He'll be across the 35-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play brings up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Neely got hit at about, 2 yards into that run, and he just pushed the tackler back 4 yards.
Stood the defender up. So 2nd and about 4. Havens with 2 receivers to the left. Tight formation. Now Austin Havens will look to the sideline, try to get the play call in. He'll shout it out to his line. Gets the snap, hands it off to Neely, and he's met in the backfield. And Jared, I'm sorry, but we're just not reading something right there on the line, because it seems like almost every play, Union is bringing somebody at the right spot, and we have no way to rebound from that. That's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play. Brings us back to the Owasso 34-yard line. 3rd down.
Union's doing a good job of just kind of picking those spots, like you said, on the offensive line where those holes are going to be. That was Jackson Jennings in the backfield, 6'2", 224 senior.
Don't want to run into him.
No.
Havens again giving out the signals. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Now Overstreet comes out and lines up behind the slot receiver. Havens looks to his left. It's an ambush in the backfield. Overstreet catches the pass, but he's going to be caught from behind, but it may be just enough. As the defender tackled Overstreet, he may have pushed him past the 1st down marker, and they're going to say, move the chains. 1st down, Owasso.
Just kind of a jailbreak screen there, and Derek Overstreet, the bowling ball, able to use his body to just kind of have that forward momentum, get caught from behind, but nonetheless, that's a Casey Miller State Farm agent 1st down.
Clock under 3 minutes now as the Rams have the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Havens with the snap, looking downfield. He's got a wide open receiver who trips. They had a crossing pattern about 20 yards downfield. Jared, if Cole Adams is able to keep his feet and catch that, there's nobody there.
Steve, here's how open Cole Adams was. He had time to do a somersault, get on his feet, and still try to pursue the pass with about 5 yards between him and the receiver.
And that's probably one of those play calls you've been saving for the right moment, and just gets his feet tangled up with the defenders.
And that's not on Cole Adams either.
It's nobody. It's just
tripped up.
It's one that happens incidental. It just happens to be incidentally against Owasso. So incomplete pass stops the clock at 2:46. 2nd and 10. Havens in the pocket. Looking deep again. He's got a wide open receiver, and he overthrows Keelan Carney. I mean, Jared, back-to-back plays, you can't get it. I think you could have hit that if you could have thrown it that far.
See, It didn't look like thank you very much, by the way. It just kind of looked like Keelan Carling maybe got lost in the lights a little bit, hung up a little too long. But it is 3rd down and 10 now. I like the idea of going. You've got both of the guys right there, and that's 6 both times.
This might be one of those plays that Coach Blankenship likes to run 3 streak plays back to back to back. So he's got Cole Adams here on the near side. Deep safety help this time, so see if Havens makes the throw and tries to force it in. No, it's going to be short.
Yeah.
Cole Adams with the catch. He's got enough for the first down. Breaks the first tackle and then is knocked out of bounds. Great move by Cole Adams. Gets the first down and stops the clock. Move the chains. 1st and 10, Owasso.
What a crossover from Cole Adams, looking like the professor.
So the Rams now got some momentum going here. 1st and 10 at the Union 44-yard line. 2:17 on the clock. I guess he was not out of bounds. Havens fakes the handoff. He's under pressure, trying to throw it deep, and he does. It's going to be caught, but we've got a flag back here at the 41-yard line. There was an obvious hold. As we mentioned, there's been some defender breaking through almost every snap, and we saw that one. I don't know who the defender was, but he certainly got grabbed.
I think it was Jackson Jennings again, number 97, Steve. And, he's athletic, he's rangy, and he's quick, and he's able to get in the backfield a lot tonight.
And if that's a spot foul, Jared, that's really going to back the Rams up. Yeah, holding on the offense. The flag's at the 41-yard line. Okay.
That's where they'll mark it off.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It is 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So
there'll be 1st and 20 for Owasso. And you got Ronnie Thomas in lone coverage out on the far side. And the defender's up tight. Now he's going to back off. Again, pressure up the middle. Havens throws it to Cole Adams across the middle. He's going to go right to left. He's across the 30-yard line, being ridden down, rolls down to the Ram 20 or the Union 26-yard line. What a great play call, Jared. I think everybody in the building thought Havens was going to look down for the streak. Here's Cole Adams coming underneath, right to left. Beautiful throw on the run, and Cole Adams very dangerous after the catch.
That's right, and a little curl there from Cole Adams, able to turn up field really quickly. Again, just kind of juke his way in and out of defenders.
And then carry him.
And didn't. That's right.
Yeah.
It's empty first down.
1st and 10, empty backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Havens is just going to run a quarterback sneak, but he's going to be caught in the backfield. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage, but not much there. Clock at 1:23 and continues to roll. Ball at the Union 27, 28-yard line. Be 2nd and over 10.
Clock inching down almost at a minute.
Emory Neely now to the right of Havens. Havens in the pocket looking for the screen. Can't get it to Neely, who gets hit after he drops the pass. Again, Jared, a beautifully set up play because all 4 linemen bit on the fake, and the rush was in Havens' face, but he throws it at the knees of Neely. We've seen Austin Havens do that a couple of times, maybe get a little too pretty with it up close and just launch a rocket right at the knees.
Yeah, just not a whole lot of touch on that pass,
No.
and Emory Neely, who's not a receiver, he's a running back, might not be used to that.
Need to hit him up here, up higher. So 3rd down for the Rams as they continue to play the music into the snap. Long pass toward the end zone, jump ball in the air. It's going to be intercepted on the second tip. It was intended for Cole Adams, but he had to come back and be a defender as that interception is made there.
Kyrie Jenkins.
Kyrie Jenkins again. So 2 turnovers by the Rams. This one running down towards halftime.
And look, Steve, this has not been a fun half of football to watch if you're an Owasso Ram fan. But it's 7-0. Hold them here, get into halftime. It's a 1-score ball game. You get the ball coming out of halftime. Make your adjustments and go get back into this thing.
So Union will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. And again, Jared, a ball that was probably underthrown a little bit or didn't get rid of it as quickly as he wanted to.
Yeah, Union just showing great pressure on the defensive end. Able to get around, pocket collapsing so quickly here in the first half.
So timeout on the field here for just a moment. We're going to keep it right here. 46 seconds left on the game clock. Union 7, Owasso 0.
Steve, we've got the Hopper Group halftime show coming up, which will be a nice break for everybody. Let's relax, regroup, reset. We will talk with Director of Athletics, Zach Duffield, about what all's going on, not just on the gridiron, but all throughout the Department of Athletics in Owasso. That's brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue, and I could use some Trails Inn Barbecue right about now.
Sounds pretty good.
I'll tell you what.
Sounds pretty good. And nobody makes it better than John Cash.
No doubt, no doubt.
Now, the only thing I hate about Friday night football, Jared, is you miss out on those Catfish Fridays with John.
Yep, absolutely.
Woo! Got me thinking. So let me ask you, scenario, Union, do you come out and try to do anything, or are you pretty content with going in with a 7-0 lead? It looks like they're going to come out into a standard offensive formation. Maybe run a couple of running plays and just see if they break one.
If you're Union, you've got all the momentum in the world.
Right.
And what's been working has been the ground game.
Right.
So why not just try to break off a big run?
Pitch back to Smith in the backfield, trying to get up the sidelines. Rams need to tackle. He's finally knocked out of bounds by Logan Adams, and that'll stop the clock.
There's going to be a flag on the play. It's in holding territory, Steve.
That's back at the 14-yard line, and that is the indication. So that'll move the Union High School team back inside their 10-yard line. They'll step it down to the 7. .40 seconds on the clock.
Steve, we'd like to thank Westerman Financial for supporting the Owasso Sports Network and all of our sponsors. We've got a great group of sponsors this year for sure.
So it'll be 1st and 14. Another handoff, trying to break out to the right side and staying on his feet, running hard. Rams got to get down and tackle.
And you might see a timeout called here, and we do. Union's going to call a timeout with 31 seconds left. You got a first down there on, 1st and 15, backed up into their, almost down to their own end zone.
Yeah.
And that's what you're worried about. That's what they're doing, is just ground and pound.
So Union's going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. You're listening to Ram Football here on the Owasso Sports Network. With Union calling a timeout, you got to think they're going to try to run something. And the Rams, on those last two plays, I know one was brought back by penalty, certainly got to tackle better.
Look, I know you're wanting to keep everything in front of you. Really got to watch out for the play action here because that's a threat.
Junior Smith in the backfield, and they'll move 3 linemen over to the left. They'll pitch it to Smith on that left side. He's got some room. Rams finally catch him from behind.
And that's Michael Jamerson on the tackle. Good pursuit there, but 10 yards again, Steve.
Yeah.
And another timeout from Union.
It's almost like, Jared, the old rugby scrum where you just kind of get behind everybody and form a wall and start moving downfield, look for a gap to open, and then take it. And right now, that's what Union has done.
24 seconds left here in the half, and Steve, if you're Coach Blankenship, what are you telling your team as we're going into this halftime?
Well, I'm scared to go down to him because I know he's not happy. And I did that last week, and
sure.
I'm pretty sure it'll be a short interview if we go down to him. But, Jared, the thing I see, and having gone to the Breakfast Club, you can join Coach Blankenship every week at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and enjoy breakfast and watch film with Coach Blankenship, and I can promise you, I've heard enough from him in those meetings. He is not happy right now. I don't know that he's had the effort that he wants. I don't want to. You got to be careful about criticizing somebody.
Sure.
I'm not saying the Rams aren't playing hard, but they're smart effort, if you will, and they've just made too many mistakes to hurt themselves. We've seen the Rams with opportunities offensively and defensively, and they're just not executing up to the level of what Coach Blankenship wants to see. Now Tempest under center. Single back, hands the ball off. It's Smith again. He's met that time. I believe that was Jake Clifton. It is again. Meets him in the hole. Clock continues to run down. They're going to send in one more play as the clock ticks under 10 seconds. Tempest tries to hurry everybody up to the line. Got to wonder if he's going to take a shot. 4 seconds. Nope, they're going to turn and pitch it again, and there's some running room. Again, a great tackle by Cody Chase. That'll stop a man. Cody Chase just went down and went WWF.
Steve, as we go into halftime, you can bet Junior Smith's going to be thinking about that one, and he's going back to the locker room. But as it is, it's 7-0 Union over the top-ranked Owasso Rams.
So trying to see here as Coach Blankenship is going to slip on into the halftime. I don't believe we're going to get him this time. Nope, he's going to go on in. So we'll go ahead with our halftime as well. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. Come back for our halftime show. You're listening to Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM.
Nothing from a box, and we don't fry anything. Our menu is full of healthy options including vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free. Dine in, pick up, or experience our full-service catering delivered to your home, office, or event. Taziki's is locally owned and operated. Come see us.
Whether you're looking to purchase a new home, build, refinance, or renovate, or your local mortgage resource. As part of a 100-year-old bank, First United Bank Mortgage is here to help you spend life wisely. Reach out to J.D. Doris or Jason Karn of First United Bank Mortgage today for further information. 918-408-4991. J.D. Doris is a licensed lender in Oklahoma, NMLS number 469266. Jason Karn is a licensed lender in Oklahoma, NMLS 469129. First United Bank is a licensed lender in Oklahoma and Texas, NMLS number 400025. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. All loans subject to program guidelines and final underwriting approval. Not all applicants qualify. Information and pricing are subject to change at any time and without notice.
Welcome back to the Hopper Group Halftime Show, where we're in the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth for our weekly chat with Owasso Director of Athletics, Zach Duffield, brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue. And Coach Duffield, another busy week for Owasso Athletics.
Absolutely, Jared. Always appreciate you and Steve having me up and getting to spend a little time with you guys and talk about the Rams. Really appreciate John Cash, Trails Inn Barbecue, for their support and making this opportunity happen. But I tell you, we go into the week and wow, we've had so much going on. It's really a busy time. A lot of our competitions are starting to heat up as far as state playoff time, and you know, not to mention just football. What an incredible night here at Union Tuttle Stadium. A lot of history here from a lot of our staff, and a great atmosphere. Beautiful new stadium they have here, and Emily Barkley and her crew do an incredible job here.
Yeah, and you talk about that history, Coach, with this rivalry. You have a bit of that history yourself.
Yeah, make a long story short, my first job out of college was teaching and coaching here at Union High School for a guy named Bill Blankenship. He hired me out of ORU and, kind of created that friendship that who knew, 15, 20 years down the road would end up us working together in a totally different capacity that's really been pretty special for the city of Owasso.
And obviously Kirk Frederick on the other side of the ball. I believe 2006 and 2007, he was the head coach for the Owasso Rams, took the Rams to a state semifinal, and the reason I know that was my senior year. So,
yes, he was, and Coach Frederick was on that staff. I mentioned in the late '90s, early 2000s that I was on here with Coach Blankenship. Melissa Zummel, assistant athletic director, was the Union High Stepper coach, and a lot of our staff has Union ties, either coached here or graduated from here. So, a special group of people. We really enjoy them and appreciate the opportunity to compete against them. But, we always like to win too. So that competitive spirit gets going. And as you're seeing tonight, folks at home, I tell you, you should be proud of the Rams. They are competing at a high level as always, and making the city of Owasso very proud.
Yeah, so many close ties, and obviously we like to keep that a friendly rivalry, and it's always a lot of fun anytime we can we'll go up against any of the programs from Union High School. But getting back to Owasso athletics, Coach, there were, by my count, 15 varsity or JV events this week, and that's talking football, volleyball, softball, cross country, and cheer coming up tomorrow. Talk about what it takes for you and your staff to juggle those kind of logistics on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, that's it's a challenge. It's a fun challenge. You have a lot of kids competing at a very high level and getting to do a lot of special things. And, I think we've raised the bar to where the expectation at Owasso is we are going to compete at a very high level in everything that we do, and that makes it special, and we could go through each one. Volleyball continues to play really well. Softball, again, just kind of a surprise. And you talk about the future of those programs, and you look at some of the underclassmen that are really, really having a big role on the varsity in both softball and volleyball, and the future is really bright there. And we got our cross countries up at the University of Kansas right now. They're running tomorrow in the Rimrock Classic up there, and then cheer. Cheer won regionals last weekend, and tomorrow right here at Union at the UMAC, they go for a third or fourth in a row competitive state championship. So I can't say enough about our fall sports and how they're going. And by next Friday, October 1st, that's the official start day of winter sports. So come next week, we're going to talk a lot about boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling and swimming and all that they're doing. We'll hold off on that for now, but as you mentioned, a busy week, but we're getting ready to add a whole lot to it. But, anytime we have a great group of kids that get to go out and compete and really show off their craft, show off what they do, it makes it exciting as an athletic director, as an athletic department. We want to provide those opportunities for kids just as often as we can.
Administrators love crossover season. I know that for sure.
Yeah. The fall-winter crossover is much like the winter-spring crossover. You think it's going to be just a lot of fun and more stuff going, but it is just a lot more stuff going.
Right. We are with Owasso Director of Athletics, Zach Duffield, for his weekly halftime chat presented by Trails Inn Barbecue. And, Coach, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the coaching staffs you put together for our fall sports. It seems like across the board, every program is perennially competing for a state title.
As athletic director, you wear a lot of hats, and probably the one I'm most proud of is the staff that we have put together. I tell people all the time, in my job as an athletic director, you get into education because you really like kids, you like being an influence, you like being a positive role model. But you get into being an athletic director, and you don't have those connections with kids anymore.
Sure.
But what I have figured out is the hiring is probably one of the most important things that I do, because those people that I hire do have a direct impact on kids' lives every single day. So I could not be more proud of our staff. We just continue to get better, continue to raise the bar. And I think that's what winning does. I think nobody wants to be, little brother or little sister, even on your own staff. Sure. You want to be part of the gang. So, I think it's pushed some of our coaches to be better, to work harder, to be more creative in their preparation for the season. But, man, I tell you, every sport we've talked about in the fall has a chance to compete for a state championship. And, those things they're hard to come by. People think, oh, you just win and that thing just happens. I don't care how good you are. There's a lot of luck that goes into a championship season anyway. Mm-hmm. Yes, you have to be prepared. You have to be ready. But you have to have some things go your way and, the ball bounce your way, if you will. And so to say we're in the mix for every single fall sport is pretty humbling to imagine that the folks at Owasso have entrusted me to put together a staff that is willing and able to get our kids competing at such a high level. And, if you really want to peel that layers back a little bit, can't thank our community and our parents more for trusting us, for supporting us, to our community and our sponsors to be able to make things happen for our student athletes. So, it's really the big picture. And I think that's something I learned here at Union long ago. I've said in the late 90s, early 2000s, the community and parental support has to be a huge part of what you do for this thing to work. And Owasso right now is absolutely setting the curve for how you're supposed to do things.
And when you talk about parents, supporters, sponsors, the entire community, you worked really hard to build that culture here at Owasso High School and around these athletic programs. It's really, and I might be a little bit biased, but in my eyes, it's really unmatched especially when you look at the other big schools around the state of Tulsa, or around the city of Tulsa in the state of Oklahoma.
Well, Jared, you go back to kind of where you came from, and I came from a small town, grew up in Grove, Oklahoma, where relationships mattered, and you really, what you said you were going to do is what you did, and people knew you were good for your word. Got a chance to work here at Union. Benny Dixon was the athletic director at the time, probably one of the real trendsetters of his time as far as pushing the envelope and doing something different. Coach Blankenship was the assistant athletic director at the time, and then was able to get on at Owasso after that, and kind of tried to bring that style or that leadership mentality of, hey, let's just unapologetically be the best at everything we do. And it's taken time, but I really feel like we're there. I think we are somebody that a lot of people in the area or in the state look to, hey, how's Owasso doing that? And I'm never going to apologize for trying to be the best. I would love to say we win a championship in everything that we do, but as people have heard me say before, building champions is more important than winning championships. And when the worlds collide and they both happen, that's pretty special. But if we're putting good, strong character kids out there that are going to be good moms and dads and husbands and wives and employees, we're winning right there. The championships are awesome, but having great kids and helping mentor them and be a strong influence in their life is really what it's all about.
And that's one of the beautiful things as well. Whenever you look at, small town football, for instance, it shuts the entire town down. You look at, Tipton or Velma or Grove or, take any small school in the state of Oklahoma, the entire town's shut down. And then you look at across this Tuttle Stadium here and you see how full those stands are over there, how many thousands of Owasso supporters are here across town in a rivalry game. It really is, you get the benefit of that small town community feel, but for a town of 40,000 people.
Yeah, there's no question. You like that small town feel. And, the other group of people we probably haven't talked about, kind of the unsung heroes, are all the folks at the school. I don't think that people understand, the principal and the administrative staff. You have to have a great relationship with them. The custodial and ground staff, as far as making your everything clean and your stadium look great, where it's enticing, where you want to have people want to show up and be a part. Transportation director, Coach Billy Oliver was a state championship coach here at Owasso. We don't go anywhere if it's not for him, because he's able to get the transportation lined up and do everything. We just have a great support group of people, from the school board to the upper administration to the building side administration, all the way down. Mark Officer and his crew, the high school principal, they deal with our kids 5 hours a day. We get them 1 hour a day as far as class period. Obviously, we're going to practice longer than that. But, It takes everybody. And I think that's what gets lost on folks sometimes is the amount of people that have a hand in it, whether directly or indirectly, that for things to really work out good, you've got to have everybody on the same team.
Coach, thanks for being always willing to come up and chat. I know you get busy, especially on game days, so it's always appreciated.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Always a pleasure to come up and visit with you all, and let's finish this thing out.
That's Owasso Director of Athletics, Zach Duffield, brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half stats from tonight's game, as well as take a look from scores from around the state of Oklahoma. That's coming up on the other side of this break. You're listening to the Hopper Group Halftime Show on 100.1 KYFM.
State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller are proud to support the Owasso Rams in their pursuit of excellence, both on and off the field. For surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even pet insurance, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso. Go Rams! When chip happens, it's a good thing. That's because Chip Shepard with Shepard Technologies is the #1 computer repair and IT technician in Owasso. With expertise in firewall technologies, network design, server administration, and computer networking, Shepard Technologies is the answer to your tech needs. For more information, request a quote today, whenchiphappens.com.
Welcome back to the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth for the Hopper Group Halftime Show. 7-0 your score here at halftime. Union over the Owasso Rams. Jared Gallagher, happy to be with you here tonight on a lovely evening, joined alongside my friend Steve Mowry and Rob Williams on stats. And a full house tonight with the Owasso Rams here in the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. But Steve, the Owasso Rams kind of hit in the mouth there in the first half and haven't really recovered.
I think that Union got a lot of momentum on that first drive. They made it look easy going down the field, and I thought, oh my goodness, we need to respond, and I thought we did, but we just couldn't get the ball in the end zone. Had the opportunities. I think the theme for both teams, Jared, in the first half has been penalties. We talked in our pregame about, they've both been in double digits, but they don't seem to, for as much have been affected by. It's affected both teams tremendously here in this first half, and it's really changed the complexion of this game. And of course the Rams had a couple of shots there going in before halftime before they threw that interception, but not the score that we thought we were going to see here tonight. If somebody would have told me we were going to come in and see the Rams shut out in the first half, I would have said no, there's no way on that. So I think after I don't know how to describe it, after the first half, that as good as you can, you feel good about just being down 7.
Sure. And you're not looking for those moral victories, but again, this game's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and the Rams get the ball coming out in the second half.
We've got 24 minutes left to play in this ball game. About 4 minutes, about 7 minutes. We'll add a few minutes on for warm-ups as the Renegade Regiment are headed off the field. And, Steve, let's take a look at the first half stats. It's not going to be pretty when you're reading these off, but it is what it is.
Yep, and, of course, as we mentioned, the Rams trailing by 7-0. First downs, Union has grilled out 10 first downs, 19 carries for 108 yards. Grayson Tempest, 7 of 14 through the air for 93 yards. Total yardage for Union, 201 yards. For the Rams, on the other side, it is 13 carries for 13 yards for Owasso. Austin Havens, 7 of 14 for 99 yards. That one interception there before we went into halftime. Total yardage for Owasso here in the first half, 112 yards. Austin Havens was averaging over 300 yards a game coming into tonight's game. So obviously some things to shore up there. The Rams not only lost an interception, they also fumbled the football. 4 penalties against Owasso, 4 against Union, both for 40 yards. Doesn't seem like that much, but it's not so much the yardage as at the critical junctures in which they've been thrown to hurt both ball clubs. Time of possession relatively even. Owasso is Rams 3 of 7 on third down, Union 2 of 6 on first down. The Rams did convert a fourth down, and the Ram defense held Union for 0 for 2 on fourth down. So able to get the Union offense off the field. Looking at the stats for Union, Smith, the running back, has 13 carries for 95 yards. Rovon Banks, he still scares me. He's been relatively quiet here in the first half, 3 carries for 10 yards, and then Tempest with 2 carries for 5 yards, including that 1 touchdown run on that opening drive. He is 7 of 14 for 93 yards, and then receiving, Boyd 3 receptions for 57 yards. Wood has 3 receptions for 29 yards, and Jenkins 1 reception for 7 yards. On the other side, not a lot to brag about there. Overstreet, 3 carries for 9 yards. Neely, 4 carries for 12 yards. Austin Haven, 7 of 14 for 99 yards. He has spread the love around in the passing game. Carney with a catch for 8 yards. Thomas with 1 catch for 4 yards. Cole Adams, he's been the go-to guy, 3 catches for 80 yards. Neely has a reception for 2 yards, and Overstreet for 5 yards. You're completing passes, but you're just not getting more than 4 or 5 yards for the most part, except for the 2 breakout receptions that Cole Adams had.
And Steve, you look at last year, Jeray Austin was the go-to guy. Like we said in pregame, 8 catches, 136 some odd yards and a touchdown, and also getting it done in the kickoff return, 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown there early in that game last year. He doesn't have a catch tonight.
Well, I mean, he's got to get more involved in the ball game. He has had a couple of drops. Now, not both of those were on him. One was, not thrown in a catchable area,
Low
but
pass, yeah.
Still, we've seen him make plays. But, yeah, he's a guy that I think you really want to get active in the offense, because Cole Adams is probably going to be the guy they key on if they pick one out of this group. But, man, Jared, we got to get the offensive line stirred up here. Too much of a jailbreak on every play. It's almost like Union knows what gap we're going to run the play, and they've got a guy coming loose on every down. And we don't have the big physical banger running backs that we could put in there to crash the line of scrimmage. So I can assure you, I'm kind of glad that we weren't able to talk to Coach Blankenship before halftime, because I caught his wrath last week. I'm sure.
And that was a 24-point ball game
right,
at halftime
yeah.
or something, yeah.
But I'm sure he's made some adjustments and talked to his ball club, and they look like they're ready to come back out here for second half action.
If anybody knows how to make adjustments at halftime, it's somebody named Bill Blankenship. So you can imagine you might be seeing something different here in the second half. This is the Hopper Group halftime show. The Hopper Group at RE/MAX Results is Owasso's most innovative real estate team. Rob Hopper and his team provide an exceptional commitment to you with industry-leading knowledge and credibility in real estate. Visit hoppergroup.com and experience the Hopper Group advantage with RE/MAX Results. Steve, we're about 3 minutes out from kickoff in the second half. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll bring you second half action here on the Owasso Sports Network, 100.1 KYFM.
Take my hand, don't let go. Look in my eyes and in my soul. Hold me close, hold me near. Please let go of all your fear. I'm not going anywhere.
This, you get paid on every Visa debit transaction with PayMe Checking from Communication Federal Credit Union, online, in apps, or in stores. Last year, our members earned over $240,000 in paybacks with PayMe Checking. Get paid instead of paying. Communication Federal Credit Union. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey everybody, it's Ray Adcock with Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso, and I just want to share a simple challenge with you today. And that challenge is just to smile. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in what we're doing and what we're thinking about, we don't remember to smile. I know that when I remember to smile at people, oftentimes they smile back. And that's because smiling has the power to improve somebody's mood in that moment. So I just want to remind you today, join with me and let's remember to smile more.
Welcome back to the Owasso Sports Network. Jared Gallagher, Steve Bowery with you in the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth as we are seconds away from our second half kickoff here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Steve, this might be the nicest Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth we've been in thus far this year.
This press box all the way across is really special. Jared, we can look next door through the window and see the Cox UView team with Zig and Rod over there. We got a little. We can cheat with the monitor a little bit and see some replays. And then, of course, the Union radio team, Chris Lincoln and Rick Corey down on the other end. And they treat us nice up here. They got a nice VIP suite down on the other end. So they've really done some things nice here.
I'll tell you what, Steve, when it comes to local broadcasters, this is a murderer's row of legends right here.
Okay.
You included. You included.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Those are some big names in the Tulsa metro area and some beyond. But let's see if the Rams can't get something going here, Jared. My goodness. You know, here's the thing. I don't want to say they can't do much worse than what they did before. They made about every mistake that they could make. They're only down 7 points. If you come out and execute, you're going to be right back in this ball game. And the guys we got going back deep for the Rams, they can be a game changer in a heartbeat. Cole Adams is one of those, along with Jeray Austin. So please kick it to them.
Steve, a couple things that surprised me in the stats. Owasso averaging 1.0 yards per carry. Wow. That's got to change.
That's crazy. Yeah, we got to establish the running game, because if not, those defenders in the secondary for Union are going to get to just play in the field. Here's the kickoff. Here's the kickoff going to into the end zone.
That is going to be a touchback, and that is going to be a touchback, and Owasso will get the ball first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. So we've got some friends here poking their head in the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth.
Well, I didn't know her, but I think I made a new friend there. Hope I'm saying her son's name right out on the field.
First down and 10
hey,
for
if
the
they're going to get on the PA guy, I know where I'm sitting.
I tell you what, man, absolutely.
Okay, anyway, we got that cleared up. First and 10, Owasso at their own 20-yard line. Austin Havens in at quarterback. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Overstreet out of the backfield. Quick throw out to the right. It is Ronnie Thomas, and he gets to the outside, breaks the edge, got some room down the sideline. That might be enough for a Ram first down, first play, first down, move the chains.
And you love to see it. Quick out to Ronnie Thomas. Got a couple blockers there. It's going to be about, let's see, about a 12-yard gain, and that's going to be a Stacy Miller State Farm agent first down on the first play of the second half.
I like how they brought Overstreet out of the backfield across as an extra blocker. Union did not adjust to that, so it gave Ronnie Thomas more room. Now we're going to go left to right. They hand the ball off to Cole Adams. He breaks up the middle, gets spun around for a moment, hits a guy head on, tries to keep his feet. He's across the 40 and just gets snagged down at the 41-yard line.
I tell you what, Steve, I think that was Junior Smith on the tackle, the strong safety / running back. But Cole Adams almost slipped out of that, and he had a room on the near side.
Yeah, Cole has just been a shoestring away from breaking them long here tonight. And I'm sure, after his first half performance, which was good, it probably wasn't up to the standards of a Cole Adams good.
9-yard gain.
Havens in the pocket. Moves the tight end right to left. 2 receivers on the left. They'll hand it off up the middle to Overstreet. A little bit more room there. Getting some push. Gain of about 4 on the play. That'll be enough for a Ram first down. So 2 quick first downs here to begin this second half.
You like to see it, and already the pace is picking up for the Owasso offense. About 4 yards on that play. It'll be first down and 10 at the Owasso 44-yard line.
Havens comes back in from the play. Sometimes he runs to the sideline to get the play and come back in. So now he'll line up in shotgun. Overstreet to his left. Two receivers to the left, two to the right.
Look at Cole Adams on the far side.
In single coverage. They give the handoff to Overstreet. He's going to run left side. He had some room and was met again, but I believe he got maybe 4 yards on the play. Let's see where they spot it. Actually, they're just going to give him 2. I thought he got a little bit more progression than that, so 2nd and 8. 9:58 to go here in third quarter. Owasso trailing 7-0. Union scored early, and that's where we've been for most of this game. Havens checking his receivers. Now he'll look to the sideline and get the play signaled in. He'll relay that to his offensive line. He's got 2 receivers left and right. Gets the snap. It's high. He's looking downfield. Can't break away. And, Jared, you got to have a count of about 2 in your head, and you got to get rid of the football.
Yeah, and it seems like that pocket's collapsing. Every time that pocket collapses, he's stepping into that side of the pocket, and it's just not giving him any opportunity to escape.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't scout team here. You need to get rid of the football, even if it's incomplete. So the loss on the play moves the ball back to the Owasso 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and about 14. And as well as the Rams came out and started, it's turned its head on us here now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cole Adams here in single coverage on the near side, and he got slapped upside the head. We're going to have a flag. I was watching Cole Adams, and the defender, when somebody moved, just reached up and slapped Cole Adams on the ear hole.
Well,
that's going to be a procedure. Coach Fred's going to talk to his player about that and say, don't do that.
Looks like number 11, Jaden Rowe, the cornerback, 6'3", 215 cornerback. You talk about rangy, 6'3", 215 corner.
Yeah, he's the OU commit, so I'm sure Adams is looking forward to, challenging him. So that moves the ball back. Be 3rd and about 17. I tell you what, Jared, they play that music a long time up to the snap.
It's something that we talk about all the time at Owasso games. We have it timed out. As soon as you have somebody come over the ball, that music's supposed to be
right,
on.
And they're not doing it till almost the snap.
We'll see if that's what they're going to talk about.
Referee comes to the near side. Timeout on the field. Not sure what the indicator is, but we'll take a timeout as well. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. 8:32 to go here in the third quarter of play. You're listening to Ram Football on the Owasso Sports Network. As both teams still in a timeout. Jared, you and I were talking there off the air for a moment. They did that in the first half where they're playing the music like almost till the ball snapped.
Right.
And that can affect your cadence.
And especially on third down. And like we said off air, we don't want to be petty about that.
No.
But listen, we do the same thing at Owasso. We do where you play the music or it's the band. When we played Broken Arrow a couple of weeks ago, how many times did the officials go over and talk to the bands about not playing, when they're trying to snap the ball or something like that? And it's up to that individual crew. And, it's a situation where it's bad sportsmanship when you're playing music and you can't hear that when you're over the ball trying to get a snap count.
Right. So it's 3rd and 19 as the Ram offense comes back out onto the field.
I think he's going to say something.
I think he is too.
Well, he's talking plenty, but the mic's not working, Steve.
Yeah, maybe they cut him off. But I think that's what he's saying,
right.
Jared, is I think he was trying to give instructions to the PA booth.
Well, he's filibustering pretty hard down there. He's still talking, trying to figure out what he can do.
Well, he's dancing around while he's trying to talk.
I think he just gave up there, Steve.
Well, but he kept moving around. Just stand still,
right,
and it would work fine.
Well, this is an awkward sequence, and it's tough
Yeah.
because you're trying to get into an offensive rhythm here, and now it's 3rd down and long.
Now it's really weird. Havens with the snap, rush, stun up front. He gets it across the middle into the hands of Carney, who is hit about 3 yards short of the first down. That was going to be needed to get to the Union 46-yard line and got to the Union 49.
Yeah. Needed 17, got 14, and now it's 4th down and 3.
And Coach Blankenship's coming back out with his offense.
You're in Union territory now, 4th down and 3.
Big. This could be the down of the game if we really run a play. Havens, now he'll look to the side.
Tries the hard count. Now he's going up to call the play.
They're going to run one. They got to play. It's Cole Adams on the far side. He gets the catch, trying to get away from the defender. He can't. He's brought down at the 43-yard line. But a great throw and catch, quick, fast, out of the pocket, and that'll move the chains. Another gutsy call by Coach Blankenship as the Rams get a first down. They overcome 3rd and 19. Mark it down. That could be a key point of this ball game. 7:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They line up quickly, hand off to the right side, breaking inside. That's Cole Adams again. He's just pushing the pile. It's another pile. He continues to run. Now he gets pushed back across the 45-yard line. Looks like he's having some fun out there.
How strong is Cole Adams? He moved about 5 guys there for about 15 seconds.
I'm going to guess those leg squats paying off there.
And Steve, going back to that 4th down and 3, again, an incredibly gutsy play. That's one thing that Bill Blankenship's never backed down on. If he needs to go for it on 4th down and short or 4th down in mid-range, he's going to do it.
Yeah, no hesitation.
And you go to your surest hands, Cole Adams, sits down on it, gets past the sticks, and it's a first down.
And a good throw that time by Austin Havens to throw a dart to get it there quickly and give Cole a chance to run after the catch. So looks like we have an equipment issue out on the field for an Owasso lineman. He's on the far side. They got his knee pad or knee brace fixed, so he's going to be able to come back on for the Rams. That's Nolan Ackenhausen, the Ram left tackle.
And then Cole Adams coming back on the sweep, had cut it upfield, was able to get about 4 or 5 yards out of not much going.
So 2nd and 6, ball at the Union 39-yard line. Willingham now in at quarterback, 3 receivers to the left. And he'll look to run, try to get outside. There's just nothing there. He'll dance around for 1, maybe 1.5 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, maybe a yard on that run from Willingham. Just kind of a design quarterback run.
Havens will come back in now as Willingham will exit. 3rd and it's a pretty good 6 yards here for the Rams. So Cole Adams, Ronnie Thomas out to the left, Jeray Austin and Keelan Carney here to the right, Overstreet in the backfield with Havens. Here's the snap. Havens in the pocket, pressured, flushed out to his left, throws it over to Cole Adams. It's almost picked off, but Cole Adams caught the football. Jared, that looked like that could go the other way, but the junior comes up with a big hands catch there. Instead of it being a turnover or an incomplete pass, it's a first down Rams at the Union 30-yard line.
And credit to the Union free safety number 10, Devin Robinson, for jumping that pass, but Cole Adams just said, no, this is my ball.
Havens with the snap, hands off to Overstreet up the middle. He's got a little bit of room. It closes quickly. I think he may have gotten down close to the 25-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play, or 5 maybe. That'll be at the Union 26-yard line.
Starting to get that rhythm, Steve, back.
Well, and I'm not sure, Jared, but again, we talk about Coach Johnson. Conditioning may start to take effect here,
Absolutely.
and the Union defense may begin to tire down. They don't have the depth that they've had in the past. Havens with the snap, hands off to Overstreet again up the middle, but the linebackers are there to fill, and then he gets a bunch of help. They delay that first handoff just enough, the first defender does, that they do have speed where they can help out, and now it's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line. You got to think it's 4-down territory at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Ball on the left hash. Now Havens will look to the sideline. He'll move Overstreet from his right to his left. The snap, looking downfield. It's an out pattern. It's not there. Havens got room to run. He's going to try to get to the outside, and then he throws the football, but we had a receiver. That may be illegal touching because I thought Jeray Austin went out of bounds and then came back inbounds.
We do have a flag back here, Steve, and it's going to be holding on the Rams.
I don't think Coach Blankenship was pleased with the direction that the quarterback ran that time because he's pointing back to the other side where the play should have gone. That's about the 4th holding penalty against Owasso.
And again, Steve, young offensive line, not many starts between the group of them. So
Rob Williams, our statistician, said is the 3rd holding penalty. Feels like 4.
feels like at least 7. Sure.
So
and now 3rd and real long.
Yeah, that move. That one hurts, Jerry. We talk about penalties that don't really affect you, but tonight they have really hurt the Rams. Looking long, it's going to be a screen, but the receiver was bumped in the backfield. Overstreet was the intended receiver, and that play was doomed from the beginning.
Now you're going to see the punt unit. And, Steve, you saw some momentum there from the Owasso offense.
Yeah.
Took almost 8 minutes off of the clock there, and now you've got to start thinking about that because that was an 8-minute drive, got, 50 yards of offense.
Right.
And now you're having to punt it back to, again, a methodical Union offense.
I mean, you flip the field as the punt by Cody Chase is going to be a fair caught. Nope, it's going to go into the end zone. So you kick just enough for a first down. So Union will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 4:08 to go here in the 3rd quarter. As Jared mentioned, took nearly 8 minutes off the clock on that opening drive and came up empty. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. Union.
With the clock.
So again, for those that don't know, we have Cox Cable here tonight, and they get their preference of TV timeouts and take care of their sponsors. So next week the Rams will be back at home. It'll be homecoming. Norman North coming to town. Jared, I hadn't looked. I saw Jinx was in a comfortable lead against Enid. Broken Arrow won last night. That was a bit of a surprise to me that it was that close.
A one-score ball game,
Yeah.
Broken Arrow and Westmore, I believe.
Jake Clifton barking out the play, and it's going to be a run to the right side, and that's where it is. Rams trying to come up and make a play, and they don't quite get there before 4 yards are gained.
Yeah, that was Rovon Banks just able to get to the outside and use his speed to try to get around the corner and salvage a few yards there on first down.
Looked like the Rams had it blocked up pretty good, but Banks is so fast, able to break the edge and get outside. 2nd and 6. Tempest in the shotgun, gets the snap, throws over to the right side. They set up a wide receiver screen. And no hold on that play, as Braden Foster's going to have to adjust his jersey in front of the Union bench.
Yeah, that was Damon Sanders on the reception, and it was either the best wide receiver block that we've seen tonight or maybe you got a little jersey there, but nonetheless, it's a first down for Union, and they're moving the ball.
1st and 10 at the Union 45-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Union going right to left on your radio dial. Tempest in the shotgun. Gives the ball to his running back, Banks again. There's room up the middle. You're not going to catch him. And he gets tripped up at the 30-yard line by Corbin Green. I think if Banks stays straight to the goal line, he's got a route, but he tried to cut back.
He tried to cut back, and Corbin Green was able to get a hand on his cleat. And all of a sudden, Steve, it's first down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and about 4 plays, here they are. Empty backfield, a single back to the right of Tempest. They'll run it up the middle again. And Banks is going to be caught by Jake Clifton and spun around twice and then thrown out of bounds. Jake Clifton had had enough of that as he filled the gap. Give him a gain of about 2 on the play. And right now, Jared, the Rams just aren't really getting penetration on the interior of that line.
Yeah, Jake Clifton doing a good job in pursuit there, being very physical. And you're going to need more of that.
Tempest under center. Clifton comes over center. They fake the handoff. Tempest rolls out to his right. He overthrows his intended receiver. In coverage there was Braden Foster. We've seen that on several occasions here tonight where they're trying to match up a receiver on a linebacker, but Braden Foster was in good position for coverage. That ball just overthrown, no opportunity for the receiver.
He was in good position, Steve. They had it there, tight end, number 8, Lane Wood, up underneath, wide open. I mean, he had 10 or 15 yards of space between him and any other defender, but they decided to go over the top. And the Rams were able to defend that one well.
And we've seen Union on those rollout pass plays. They really like to have 2, if not 3 levels of receivers. Now under center, they hand the ball off. Banks caught in the backfield. He squirms up for a couple of yards. Not much there. Give him 2 on the play. Michael Jamerson, I believe, in on the tackle for
also
Owasso.
number 42, Elisha Malvo. And that was a huge stop, Steve. We'll see what Coach Frederick wants to do, because it's 4th down and 6 at the 26-yard line. I'm not sure they've got a kicker for that, Steve, because they've not used it. Well, that's the white hat trying to get on the band at that time.
I mean, if they keep doing it, Jared, he might throw a flag. But again, needs to stand still when he's talking on the mic.
The mic keeps cutting in and out. Right. We're having a hard time having to hear him. So they do bring the special teams unit on for the 36-yard field goal attempt.
This will be spotted at the 34-yard line, so it'll be a 44-yard field goal. There was movement on the right side. I don't know. I think we had an official's timeout.
They're complaining about Owasso's band. It was the drum line that was simply...
And Coach Duffield's going to come out and talk to the referee about... So getting a little chippy out here with Battle of the Bands.
You're right, my math was off. It is a 44-yard field goal attempt. I never was good at math, Steve. It's more of an English guy.
So ready to kick is Tyler Cowan. Here's the snap, the hold, and the kick is low.
Whoa.
Doesn't have a chance.
Not even close. That didn't get off the ground,
no,
Steve.
I could have blocked that one.
Owasso's crowd was going crazy because the band got in trouble for playing.
Yeah.
And let's see if that re-energizes Owasso a little bit.
So the Rams, for the most part, have taken all the time off the clock in this third quarter. We're down to 1:53, still 7-0 Union. As the Ram offense comes back out on the field, they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And Jared, you feel like if there was any urgency in the ball game that we're approaching that point right now. Cole Adams in motion right to left. He gets the handoff, and he's going to be met rudely in the backfield. Again, Jared, there's that one guy that just comes through untouched. And if you scout Owasso at all, you know they're going to run that jet sweep.
Sure.
But they just blew that up. So again, you go from 1st and 10, you lose 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 14. Doesn't really allow you to make the play calls that you want to make.
And again, Owasso's ball carrier showing good patience, but you need that time to develop the play a little bit.
Right.
And you're just not getting the defenders are penetrating too quickly. You can't let your plays develop.
Haven's in the pocket, 2 receivers here on the near side. Haven's going to step up, spins out of trouble, looking upfield, and he just stutter stepped too much there. It looked like if he'd have just taken off and run, he might have had an opportunity. As it is, he gained maybe 2 on the play, so that'll put Owasso in a 3rd and 11 from their 19-yard line.
Steve salvaged that one a little bit. He could have gone down for a sack, I don't know, maybe 8-9 yards past the original line, or back behind the original line of scrimmage. He's able to spin out of it and get a couple yards.
Thought that time, though, that Havens stepped up well in the pocket.
Sure.
And didn't have the pressure as both teams on their feet. Austin Havens gets the snap. Stun up front, throws the ball over to the left side, and it's a one-hopper into the hands of Cole Adams. And, boy, the Rams just did not even give themselves a chance on that possession. So Cody Chase will come in punt formation. Back deep for Union, Jakiri Jenkins. Good snap. Punts it kind of to the right. Gets a good roll. Rolls past the 50 down to about the 46, 47-yard line. That's where Union will take over 1st and 10 from their own 47.
I think there was a bit of an inadvertent kick there from Jake Clifton.
Yeah.
Went down and recovered it anyway, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 at the Union 47-yard line. 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Boy, you just feel like every time, either time one of these ball clubs gets something going, they penalize themselves and can't dig out of the hole. We've been stuck at 7-0 since that first score in the first quarter by Union. They made that drive look easy, and nothing since.
Yeah, Steven, it feels like the energy gets sucked out of both sidelines anytime that happens.
So 1st and 10 Union. Ram fans trying to make some noise. Tempest keeps the ball, runs to his left, and he's got some room before he kind of steps out of bounds. Gets 2nd and 3 as he gained a 7 on the play. Just a simple quarterback boot, but Tempest very speedy and able to get outside the containment here on the near side. 2nd and 3 from the Rams' 46-yard line.
Should be the last play of the third quarter here. 6 seconds remaining.
Tempest throws over to the right. It's caught, and there's room. And another tackle made, but not before the Union High School gets a 1st down.
The flag right at the 45-yard line might be in holding territory here. That's what it's going to be, holding on Union.
So again, as we get this marked off. We have completed 3 quarters of play. We're going to head to the 4th quarter. We'll take a timeout. It's Union 7, Owasso 0. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football here on 100.1 KYFM. Get ready to start the 4th quarter action. Team still on the sidelines. Jared, you've got statistics for both ball clubs through 3 quarters.
Owasso 23 rushes for 29 yards. Union 24 rushes for 148 yards. That's kind of been their whole game plan.
Yeah.
Passing 11 of 19 Owasso for 140 yards, and for Union 8 of 16, 112 yards. Just 1 passing reception in the 3rd quarter for Grayson Tempest there. Total yards for Owasso, just 169 yards for a team that averages more than 500 yards a game. For Union, 260 total yards. And again, story of the day, Steve, penalties. Owasso 6 penalties for 55 yards, and Union 5 for 50 with that holding there at the end of the 3rd quarter.
They have cut down on penalties from the previous couple of weeks, but they've almost felt more critical tonight than they have in those other games. And I'm going to guess Coach Blankenship's going to have to open up his playbook a little bit here in this 4th quarter. Looking at other scores around the area, Jinx at halftime over Enid, 28-6. Mustang and Norman North. Norman North is Owasso's opponent next week at home. That'll be homecoming. They're tied at 28. Edmond Santa Fe, 28, and Edmond Memorial 7. Moore 28-0 over Southmore. I think they call that the Moore War. Norman trails Yukon 31-12, and Edmond North 20-0 over Putnam City. Broken Arrow, as we mentioned, won last night over Westmore 19-12. So this opening game across both districts is really going to shake some things up early.
Again, Steve, one of Coach Blankenship's keys to victory tonight were chunk plays, big chunk plays. We've not seen anything like that out of Owasso here tonight.
And again, when we've seen the opportunity for a chunk play, it's been a missed opportunity. So Union will come out 2nd and 12 from their own 45-yard line. Tempest will hand off to his left. It's Smith getting to the outside, and there's just nobody there, and that's an easy 8-yard run. People going down on the sideline. I think it was one of the ball boys or chain gang. It's a good way to lose an ACL.
Steve, left tackle there just sealed off the edge, and when you've got somebody that has the speed of Junior Smith, you got to get somebody around there to contain him.
Yeah, there was nobody that came up for help on the outside. Brandon Ramsey got caught in coverage that time.
3rd down and short here.
Single back. Tempest hands the ball off. It's Smith again. He's caught in the backfield, and guess who? Jake Clifton once again.
Again, we'll see if it's 4-down territory, but what a stop from Jake Clifton.
So let's see what Coach Fred, he's bringing his punter back out.
He's going to try to flip the field here. 11 and a half minutes to play in this ball game. A 1-score ball game.
Clock continues to roll, 11:25. Does he dare try a fake punt on this position, or does he take field position?
Punter T.J. Cowan, 5'7", 165.
He'll line up at the Union 41-yard line, and he'll punt it. Almost blocked by the Rams. It certainly caused him to kick it out maybe sooner than he wanted to, as they will mark that at the 17-yard line. So 11 minutes to go here in the fourth. Union 7, Owasso 0.
We'll see what Owasso's got here, Steve. It's running out of time here to make anything happen.
Yeah.
You've got to go 83 yards here.
Well, we talked about that drive before the end of the third quarter, how critical that may have been, and it certainly appears to be now. So Austin Havens with a tight formation, but 3 receivers out to the right. He'll get it out quickly. It's caught there. I believe that's Jeray Austin, though. He gets tickled. That's going to be Overstreet. I'm sorry, it's going to be Neely.
Yeah, Emery Neely.
I'll just keep naming them until I get the right one. But Neely had come out of the backfield behind 2 wide receivers over on the left.
That's 6 or 7 yards, Stephen. It looks like our first down marker got snapped in half there on that last play over there.
Well, he's doing his best to try to put it back together.
It's looking a little floppy over there. We might just have to hold it up. About 7 yards on that play, Emery Neely.
2nd and 3. Havens with the snap. Hands off to Neely. There's nothing. There's just not been any successful running room for Owasso up the middle all night long.
Taking forever to blow that whistle dead.
Just let them all stand around.
Just holding them up for 5 seconds.
Yeah, now we're under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth.
And now we're looking at 3rd down and 3 on the 24-yard line for Owasso. Again, just good penetration from that Union defensive line.
Overstreet's going to go to the sideline. And this looks like Willingham is in.
They keep playing music.
He's trying to call out the cadence, and they're playing the music so loud.
At some point, Steve, you've got to throw a flag.
And the referee's pointing up there, cut the music.
When you've got the music coming from the west side, you've got the bands coming from the east side. That's a lot of havoc down on the field.
Well, and it's like piped-in sound.
So again, 3rd down and 3, and it is Mason Willingham at quarterback. We're just going to sit here until they stop playing music, Steve.
Right. Yeah, they're going to have to throw a flag on them to get their attention. He's pointing up here saying, cut.
I mean, what is that, 4 or 5 warnings at this point? You've got to throw a flag.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to throw a flag.
But, hey, you've been warned.
But the clock keeps running every time. We've got a minute off the clock trying to get this 3rd down.
We're under 9 minutes now. Willingham in the pocket, looks to his right, throws it into the hands, caught by Carney. He's got room over the 40, gets drug out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That play took a minute and a half to run, but it's a big gain for the Owasso Rams.
And Steve, that ball was tipped. Great job by Keelan Carney just to haul that one in, broke a tackle, and that's a Casey Miller State Farm agent 1st down and 10.
That'll move the ball to the Owasso 45-yard line. Good throw by Willingham, who will stay in at quarterback. Empty backfield. Here's the snap. He's going to try to throw it downfield, and it's going to be over the intended receiver, and we're going to have defensive pass interference. Ronnie Thomas was out here on the near side, and Mekhi Belt is going to be called for interference.
He was just holding him the whole way, Steve.
Yeah.
We'll get the call here, but that's what it's going to be, and it'll be a 1st down.
That should
for
move
Owasso.
it.
Should move it into Union territory.
Holding against Union is the indication, and that'll be 1st and 10 Rams at the Union 45-yard line.
So again, Steve, if you're going to score, this is it right here.
I think so too, Jerry. You may get one more opportunity, but you need to get in the end zone on this one. We have had an overtime game here before, just in that championship season of 2017. It was Union in double overtime over Owasso 44-41. We have nothing like that going on here tonight. 1st and 10. Willingham at quarterback. Going to throw long again, and it's going to be just tipped and off the face mask of Cole Adams, the intended receiver. Again in coverage is Makai Belt. And, Jared, those balls that are that badly underthrown can be picked off.
It's just hanging up in the air for 10 minutes.
That's a long time.
I mean, you're just playing 5,000 at that point. That's a jackpot. Anybody's game. Cole Adams still nearly turned around and caught that ball.
Cole Adams, 5'10", 170 pounds, and he just plays so much bigger and athletic. Willingham with a single back, 2 receivers to the left. Hands the ball up the middle, and absolutely nothing there. I mean, there's a wall. The Rams may have gotten 2 yards on that, but we just have not been able to move that front line of Union. So gain of 2 on the play brings up 3rd and 8. Coach Blankenship going to have to look now and see what he wants to do. Gives the play to Willingham, sends him back into the game. Mason Willingham, a 6'2", 185-pound junior. 3 receivers to the left. They empty the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Willingham in the pocket, gets the quick throw off, but the tackle is made immediately there and then thrown out of bounds. And we're going to have a flag. We're going to have a late flag, yeah. They had the play in hand, Jared, but that extracurricular into the bench is going to give the Rams a first down. Coach Frederick cannot be pleased about that.
I would not want to be standing by him right now. That's just an unnecessary penalty, and that's what's killed both of these programs.
Yeah, all night long.
All night long.
And that was I know Union fans are not going to like it, but that was an obvious foul. So late, and then flipped him.
Yeah, already out of bounds. You just got to let go. You can't fling him down like that.
So you had a chance to get your defense on the field, and as it is, that'll move the ball up to the Union 28-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Steve, you hate to call that a bailout, but
well, it bails Owasso out.
It is what it is, and it's first down Owasso.
Continues the drive. Willingham still in at quarterback, and we're going to have quick whistles as play is stopped, and we're going to have a procedure call against Owasso, so that'll back them up 5 yards.
7:09 remaining in this ball game, Steve, and you're starting to get a little butterflies in your stomach if you're an Owasso fan.
So that backs the ball up to the Union 33-yard line. Mason Willingham at quarterback. Neely to his left. Now he's going to bring Cole Adams in motion and hands it off to Neely up the middle. And again, they just collapsed that so fast.
That delayed handoff is just not working. It's not effective right now for the Owasso Rams.
Yeah. So that'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. 6:45 to go. Score on the first drive, and that has been it. It's really been ugly football since then. Willingham in shotgun, gets the snap. He's looking downfield. He's going to take off running to his right. He's got some room, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. It's a gain of maybe 2 on the play. Looked like he was going to have more than that, Jared, but that closed quickly.
Yeah, good closeout by the secondary there, and I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but still it's 3rd down and 10. 6 minutes remaining in this ball game.
4-down territory here, obviously. Absolutely. I mean, you can't, if you get the ball back, you want to be tied.
Sure thing.
So the ball at the Union 28-yard line, 3rd and 10. Now 3 receivers to the left. Willingham gets the snap. Union brings pressure, flushes Willingham out of the pocket. He's going to run to the right and then just go out of bounds.
He didn't have anybody on the far side.
Well, throw it away.
Absolutely.
That may just have been a lack of experience, Jared, in game-type situation.
Yeah, loss of 9 yards on the play, Steve.
Wow. On a 3rd down when you need a score.
Right.
5:28 on the clock. Coach Blankenship sends his quarterback Willingham back in with the play call. This is almost a Hail Mary.
Yeah, we'll see, Steve. Take a shot, maybe try to get some contact, if nothing else.
Yeah. 2 safeties over the top. Now the corners are going to back up. 2 on each side. There's a floater down the right side. There's a fight for the football. It's caught! Touchdown! Owasso Rams! The floater is good. Who is it, Jared? They're going to storm the field. I think it's Ronnie Thomas. Are you kidding me? It is quiet here on the home side. They ain't playing no music now.
Just what you're talking about, Steve. A Hail Mary. Try to get the contact, try to get anybody, and just kind of bunch those receivers up. It was Ronnie Thomas, went up over everybody, came down with the 6.
And really, again, Jared, it looked like the Union defenders were in place to just knock it away. They just didn't.
Now Jake Adams on to tie this ball game.
Cole Adams, his brother, will hold. The kick is up, and it's good. And with 5:20 to go here in the 4th quarter, it's a Union 7, and now you're Owasso Rams 7. We'll take a timeout and come back for the rest of this quarter and maybe some bonus action as well. You're listening to Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jason Griffin.
And I'm Dr. Caleb Nunley.
And we at Tulsa Bone and Joint are happy to be the team physicians for the Owasso Rams.
I'm Dexter Millsap.
And I'm Zach McGinty, and we are the athletic trainers for the Owasso Rams.
Here's some of the services that we provide in the Tulsa Bone and Joint Athletic Training Facility.
Welcome back to Union, where it's a different game now as Ronnie Thomas able to haul in what can really only be described as a Hail Mary, as he is able to bring in the 36-yard touchdown pass from Mason Willingham. Logan Adams adds the extra point, and with 5:20 to go here in the 4th quarter, it's Union 7, Owasso 7.
Steve, 11 plays, 83 yards in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, what you were calling a Hail Mary to Ronnie Thomas, that Hopper Group touchdown. And also, don't forget the Executive Homes extra point that ties up this ball game.
Big.
Now you need what your defense has done all since the first drive of the game. Just dig your heels in.
Well, and the other thing, Jared, Union doesn't have a turnover tonight, so it might be time for that as well. There's a high onside on the far side, and the tackle is made. I didn't see a fair catch.
I never saw a fair catch made either.
Now, Coach Blankenship's not arguing that. So in any case, that'll be a penalty against Owasso.
If it was a fair catch, he was running across the field.
Yeah.
May have waved quickly, but
so Union will start 1st and 10 in Owasso territory. You know, Jared, I don't know. I don't know how much faith that Coach Frederick has in his kicker. The one we saw earlier was, I'm sure not representative of all. at what T.J. Cowan is capable of.
Not quite what we've seen in the past,
No.
maybe from the Way brothers.
No. So 1st and 10, Union at the Ram 45-yard line. They fake the handoff to the left. Tempest will roll out to the right. He's got a wide open receiver. Hits the receiver underneath, and thank goodness, because he had a touchdown if he goes over the top. Lane Wood was downfield, and again, a busted coverage.
I believe that was Jake Adams on the tackle. But Ja'Kyrie Jenkins, he's really kind of been the game changer in this ball game. 8 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 2.
Ball spotted at the Ram 37. 3 receivers to the left. Tempest under center, comes back, fakes the handoff, boot to the right, looking downfield, throws it underneath, tipped away. Cody Chase comes up, knocks the ball away from the intended receiver, Lane Wood.
Huge play from Cody Chase there just to get a hand on the ball, strip it away from the receiver. That's an incomplete pass, and now a 3rd down and 2, probably the biggest third down of the game.
So here we go. Grayson Tempest with Junior Smith in the backfield. They're going to go tight formation with 2 receivers to the left. Tempest gets the snap, fakes the handoff, throws to the right underneath on a slant, and it's caught. And the tackle made there by Cody Chase and Green. Gino Boyd again. He's kind of been the... Well, we have a flag, Jared, on the far side at the 37-yard line.
Union's offense is backing up, so we'll see.
I mean, it was just a quick slant to the left. Ineligible downfield, you said it. So that'll back Union up.
And Steve, my apologies on the kickoff. I did not realize anybody could wait for the fair catch and it's a dead ball. That's my fault. I thought it had to be the individual receiving the ball. I
see what you're saying.
We got clarification. It can be anybody on the field.
I did not know
apparently,
that.
So
Okay. See, I learned something tonight.
There we go.
Hope I don't see it again, but I learned something. So it'll be 3rd and about 7 at the Owasso 42-yard line. Tempest in shotgun. Rams showing pressure. They bring a little bit of it. Throw over the middle. Pass is caught, but short of the 1st down. Tackle made by Braden Foster. The receiver there again is Gino Boyd.
Needed 7, got about 6.5, so it is a 4th and very short.
Players are wanting to go for it, so.
Inside 4 minutes now, Steve. This is the ball game right here.
Yep. So Union's going to do the bunch formation on the right and then ship it over to the left. Rams got to adjust. They don't have enough players on that side. It's an easy pitch. And that's going to be just enough for the 1st down as the ball carrier able to get across the 35-yard line.
So he needed to get to the 35, and he fell to the 34, and that's a 1st down for Union.
They'll spot it just outside the 34. Double tight end, 3 receivers to the right. Smith in the backfield. They hand off to Smith. He finds a crease, gets across. He's broken into the secondary. Down to the 22-yard line. That might be enough for another 1st down.
Yeah, Chris McClellan coming off the backside. These running backs for Union have done a great job of really tightening onto the football, not letting anybody get a hand in there, try to strip it away.
So 1st and 10 Union at the Owasso 23-yard line. 2:51 to go here in the ball game. Tied at 7. Smith, the lone back. They're going to go heavy on the left side. Now bring the tight end across, and that's where they'll hand the ball off to Smith. He's going to be met rudely there. I believe that was Chris McClellan that read that beautifully. That's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play and bring up 2nd and 12.
Who we've been saying all night, McClellan and Clifton once again in on that tackle, and finally some penetration in the backfield.
Union taking their time. Fake the handoff. Tempest rolls to his right. Then he jump hops and throws the pass. They're going to say he incomplete, that he was out of bounds.
So here you go, Steve. 3rd down and 12.
I tell you what, though, Jared, you got to be careful on that rollout because the receiver over the top is getting free.
Well, I tell you what I like about that, Steve. Chris McClellan, earlier in the game, was kind of getting caught in no man's land there. He just made up his mind. He said, I'm going to go for the quarterback there, jump up, try to get those paws up.
Yeah.
And it forced Grayson Tempest to almost do a Tim Tebow jump pass.
Right.
And that might have affected that, kind of pushed it out of bounds. And now we've got 3rd down and 12.
Well, you got Rovon Banks in the backfield as well. Don't forget, he was a quarterback. He can throw. Banks out of the backfield. Tempest rolls to his right, tries to take off running, can't do it as he gets caught. Chris McClellan able to bring Tempest down to the ground. And Tempest, he's slow to get up as he limps over to the side.
Can't imagine it feels very good.
He's having a hard time. He's going to go down, Jared. Hate to see this.
Stop the clock.
Hate to see this.
Stops the clock at 1:34, and that's tough.
Yeah. I think it was the right decision, but the Union coaching staff is going to come out and look at their quarterback. We'll take an extended timeout. You're listening to Ram Football here on the Owasso Sports Network. Welcome back to Union as Grayson Tempest was able to get off the field gingerly under his own power. And then Union goes for it. They don't get it, and now Owasso has a player down on the field.
I believe that's Tyler Rich.
Yeah.
And, Steve, it was a fake field goal. Tried to pitch it up to one of their speedbacks, and it was snuffed out pretty easily by the Owasso defense, but you hate to see this. It might be a cramp.
Yeah,
he's moving around okay.
Looks like a leg cramp that he's dealing with.
But nonetheless, Steve, the big story is Owasso's got the ball, 1:25 left, and a chance to at least get some yardage, maybe have a chance of taking a field goal or going to score.
Absolutely, and all 3 timeouts.
Don't forget who you've got at wide receiver. You've got 4 of the fastest guys in the state of Oklahoma.
And you've already hit a Hail Mary. Ronnie Thomas was able to reel in that catch from Mason Willingham. So it'll be interesting, too, Jared, if Union has an opportunity to run offense again, who's going to come in.
Got to imagine you might see Rovon Banks coming back
Yeah,
quarterback, maybe a wildcat / quarterback option. But we'll have to see if we get there. Hopefully we don't have to get there. Let's move the ball down here.
Like where the Rams are situated right now as the offense comes back out onto the field.
And it's Willingham back at quarterback once again.
2 receivers to the right. 1 to the left. That's Cole Adams. He's matched up with Jaden Rowe, the OU commit. Now Jackson Woods runs out to the right, trying to get single coverage. Willingham caught in the backfield. He's able to escape, throw it out quickly to Adams, and he gets tackled here on the near side and knocked out of bounds. I think he got a gain of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, give him 4 yards, and he stayed in bounds. Tried to get out of bounds, but it was a good job by the defender keeping him in bounds. So that clock's running now, 1:04. And now 1 minute remaining.
Willingham comes back in. You've got Ronnie Thomas and Keelan Carney over on the right. Cole Adams here on the near side. Now Adams goes left to right. The handoff up the middle, breaking free for a moment. I think that's Overstreet. We got a couple of guys going after it at midfield.
It is Derek Overstreet. We're going to move the chains there, I believe. Yes, we're moving the chains, so that stops the clock at 35 seconds. We're going to get a timeout.
Took a timeout. So 35 seconds to go, tied at 7. Rams will have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Not sure I really know how far Logan Adams can reach a field goal. You would think that you'd have to get at least down to about the 30, 25-yard line.
Yeah. And again, wind not really a factor tonight.
If anything, it might be to his back, but not much to make a difference.
Looks like those flags up to the north of us might be blowing south to north, so that does help a little bit. But again, you know, with an unproven kicker, you're going to need to get it down 25, 30-yard line minimum.
So the Ram offense back out onto the field. Mason Willingham has come in relief of Austin Havens and led the Rams to their only scoring drive. Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Now they'll bring Overstreet back in. Willingham will roll out to his right. He's looking deep downfield. He's got a receiver, but he takes off running, and he's going to run out of bounds just short of the first down marker. Clock runs down to 25 seconds.
Heads up play there by Mason Willingham. Didn't have anything downfield. Used his legs, and that's what we know Mason Willingham to do.
Yeah.
Is really utilize his speed in those legs to make something happen. He got 9 yards on that play and got out of bounds to stop the clock with 25 seconds remaining.
But you're going to have to get a ball up in the air to really give yourself a chance. You've got 2 timeouts left. 2nd and 1 at the Ram 49-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left. Willingham with the snap, looking downfield, under pressure, trying to escape that. He's going to take off running, but it just closes so quickly, Jared. I mean, you got to know you've got to pull up and throw the football. It's going to be enough for a first down, but the Rams are going to take a timeout.
And I tell you what, Steve, he had Jere Austin wide open.
Yeah.
When that secondary collapsed on Willingham, Jere Austin was streaking down the field. He may have already crossed the line of scrimmage, but nonetheless, 14 seconds remaining. Might not be able to get into kicking territory, Steve, but
can throw one down the field.
Throw one down the field and see what happens. It's worked out well so far.
Tied at 7. The Rams get that late touchdown on that last drive. Grayson Tempest, the starting quarterback for Union, has left the field, gone into the locker room. Appeared to be some type of an ankle injury. He was walking on it gingerly, but he was walking on it, so, hard to speculate what that might be. Certainly hope he's okay.
Steve, we can't get through this entire ballgame and not give a shout-out to the legendary Leanne Taylor sitting right in front of us, 2 rows down right below us.
Yeah. And she's done a fine job refereeing here tonight for the Union football team.
Well, I won't get into that.
Okay.
First down and 10, 14 seconds remaining, about 48 yards to pay dirt.
Willingham gets the snap, back in the pocket, looks downfield, puts one up. It's short. Caught by Cole Adams, coming across the field, back out. He's got to go down at the 26. Go down, go down, go down. Timeout with 2 seconds left to go.
He's at the 27-yard line, and Steve, now you've got to make a decision.
Oh, you got to try the field goal, I think. And that's what Coach B's going to do. He's going to send his field goal unit out onto the field. And Logan Adams is going to have an opportunity to win this football game for the Owasso Rams. They're ranked number 1, Union ranked number 3 after losing to Jinx last week 22-0. And Logan Adams is probably going to spot this up. Going to be Logan Adams will spot the ball at the 34, so that'll make it about a 44-yard field goal. I'm sorry, it's Jake Adams. Thank you. Too many Adams brothers.
I tell you. It's kind of like the Neff brothers.
Yeah.
Just pick one, you know.
Killians.
Or the Killians,
Yeah.
yeah. Just pick one, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So Jake Adams getting ready. Cole Adams, his brother, will be holding. 2 seconds on the clock. So we're either going to go home with a win right now or play extra. Here's the snap. The kick is up.
It's long enough.
It's long enough. It's no good. It had the distance, but it was off to the side. You know, oddly enough, though, they both looked at each other. The referees under the goalpost both turned and looked at each other. I'm like, what?
Oh, man. That couldn't have missed by much.
No.
It looked like there was some conversation.
That's exactly right.
And we don't have a great angle to see right or left what that might have been, but what an effort there from Jake Adams. Plenty of leg to get it there. Looked good from here, but nonetheless, we're going into overtime. And Steve,
bonus coverage.
Yeah, reminiscent a little bit of 2017, Coach Blankenship's first time back at Tuttle Stadium.
That ended up being a victory for Union, 44-41. But then the Rams able to take the second rematch as the Rams won their state championship 21-14. As we get ready for overtime action, we'll take a timeout. You're listening to Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM. We are getting ready for overtime. Union 7, Owasso 7. Rams just unable to get that last kick in. Jake Adams looked like he had the distance, but apparently the direction If it was off, Jared, it wasn't off by much.
No.
Because both referees under each of the goalpost standards, they stepped out and looked at one another.
Yeah, they confirmed with one another. Are you sure you saw what you saw?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to get our first taste of overtime here in a few years. It's been a couple years since we've seen overtime.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know. I'm probably speaking for both of us. I don't know if my heart can take much overtime.
Man, I don't know either. It'll be interesting, though, to see when Union goes on offense who will come out as their quarterback. Both teams getting ready to come out on the field. Rams will start out offensively. So they'll be at the north end zone, ball spotted at the 10-yard line. First and goal. Mason Willingham remains in the game at quarterback. Cole Adams here to the left side.
That's how it goes, Steve. 4 plays, 10 yards to pay dirt.
Fake the handoff, and Willingham's going to be sacked in the backfield. I mean, Jared, we've seen that all night long. There has just been a man free into the backfield all night long.
That's the inside linebacker, Gabe Ford, 5'10", 220 senior, and that puts a lot of pressure on this offense now. Losing 4 yards, it's all of a sudden, 10 yards in 4 plays doesn't look that bad optically. 14 yards in 3 plays.
Well, much different in the speed of Union into the backfield. Willingham gets the snap, looking to his left. Under pressure, still looking at, actually that's Havens, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds back at about the line of scrimmage. There was a quarterback change, but.
Oh, that's a spot right there. Oh, he got back to the 15 at least.
Oh, so they're going to mark it at the 17. Wow.
He said he lost 3 yards on that play. It's 3rd down and 17.
Man. So Havens will stay in the game. Ball on the left hash. And really, Jared, if you're going to roll out the quarterback, roll him to the right. His throwing side.
Yeah.
Havens with 2 receivers on his right. Gets the snap. Blitz is picked up nicely. Throw across the middle and out of bounds. Intended for Keelan Carney. Also had Ronnie Thomas coming across. And that ball just sailed out of the end zone.
Yeah, now you're on the left hash. You're on the near side hash, and Jake Adams getting another shot at 3 points here.
So they'll spot the ball at the 17-yard line. Jake Adams will line up at the 24. It'll be a 34-yard field goal. See if he can at least get this one through. Cole Adams on the hold. Here's the snap, the kick. It's up.
Oh,
and it hit the upright and bounces back.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
Wow. Oh, Jared, that really looked like it was going to be good as well, but he hit that solid, and it came straight back into the end zone.
Well, here we go, Steve. We've been talking about the defense all night long.
Got to step up and got to see who the quarterback is coming out here. Union's offense gathered up here on the near side. Rovon Banks has directed this team before.
Yeah,
and
Steve,
he's in the middle of that huddle, so I would assume that's who would be.
Yeah, in the 2 deep, they've got number 18, Knox Dyson, a 6'3 sophomore, as their backup quarterback, but I would imagine you see Rovon Banks taking the snaps.
So here comes the Union offense. Now they're going to call them back to the sideline. Not sure what the delay is here. There's no one on the field indicating a timeout. They may just start the play clock. And here comes the Ram defense. They're lined up. Coach Fred still talking to his defense, and they did. They just started the play clock. Well, you just never know what you're going to get when these four teams match up. Union, Owasso, Broken Arrow, Jinx.
We get a timeout. Owasso came out in a formation they weren't very happy with, so we'll regroup here.
All right, well, we'll take a timeout with them. You're listening to Ram Football here on your Owasso Sports Network. Timeout, trying to see what Union has in their bag of tricks. They've got the ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Again, here in the north end zone, it's not completed yet. The end zone's complete, but the big scoreboard, from what I hear they got coming in, is going to be phenomenal. So they got number 8 at quarterback. That's Giovanni Pete.
Now it's going to be Rovon Banks moving over.
Oh, there he is now, yeah. Banks, he's going to run to his right. Try to run up the middle, but he gets stopped after about a 2-yard gain, maybe 3 on the play. I would suspect Coach Frederick may do that 4 times.
Yeah, Rams defense just clogging the middle there. They're going to get it back to, started on the left hash there, which they could choose to do that. They're going to start it, moving it back toward the middle. You know, if they don't get into the end zone, they'll try to set up for a chip shot.
Yeah. Ball at the 7-yard line, gain of 3 on that first play. 2nd and goal. The pitch to Smith on the left side, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd down.
Interesting, Steve. That was the tight end, Lane Wood, who took the snap under center. 3rd down and 3. Gain of 4 on that play. And now back to the left hash. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
Well, certainly got to clog the middle and the wide side of the field on the right. Wood at quarterback gets the snap, turns around, the pitch to Banks. He's trying to get outside. He's going to be stopped there.
And now he's on the right hash, the far right hash.
Tyler Rich on the stop. Did a really good job to get there. And now Coach Frederick is going to send out his kicker. So Tyler Cowan will come on. TJ Cowan, he's 5'7", 165-pound junior. And he's going to have an opportunity to win this for Union. But Union, a bit of a surprise, is going to take a timeout. So the ball's at the 3-yard line. This will be about a, what would you say, 20-yard field goal?
Yeah, I'd say so. And on, again, Steve, on the right hash, he's a right-footed kicker. I don't know much about kicking, but I've heard that that's a tough little angle to have if you're a right-footed kicker.
Of course, when you've seen people kick for their college fund, that's usually pretty easy for the non-experienced Dr. Pepper Challenge or
sure.
Something like. Well, Jared, it's been an odd game to say the least. It just never has really had a feel or a flow to it.
Yeah, and either way, of course, you're hoping to sneak out of here with a victory.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, you're going to have to regroup. We've got a lot of distractions coming up next week with homecoming.
So Cowan will line it up. He's going to back his tee back up outside the 10-yard line. He'll step it off. Here's the snap, the hold, and the kick. And it's good. And in the first overtime, Union wins this 10-7. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll come back for some postgame. You're listening to Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM.
On today's edition of Owasso Rams Trivia, the category is food. Now, for our first question, what are the 4 food groups?
Milk, meat, fruit, and bread.
That's correct.
Wait, everyone in Owasso knows that Charlie's Chicken Chunks are so good. They might as well be their own food group.
Judges, are the chicken chunks at Charlie's that good? That settles it. Go see for yourself at Charlie's Chicken on 76th Street, just east of Highway 169.
Hello, Ram Nation. This is Coach Blankenship. We're proud to have a winning tradition here in Owasso, both on the field and off. And as we strive for excellence, our partners at Jim Glover, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat strive for excellence also. And that's why they're this year's Dealer Raiders Dealer of the Year. With the region's only Jeep showcase store, Jim Glover Jeep focused specifically on the Jeep lifestyle. So if you're in the market for a Jeep, there's only one place to go, and that's Jim Glover here in Owasso. And don't forget, they can customize your Jeep to fit your lifestyle. Tell them Coach B sent you.
Tulsa Bone and Joint Owasso is proud to support the Owasso Rams. With Dr. Caleb Nunley and Dr. Jason Griffin serving as team physicians, and Destry Millsap and Zach McGinning serving as athletic trainers for the team, the Rams are in good hands with Tulsa Bone and Joint. Our office is conveniently located inside St. John Owasso Physician Building and ready to care for you and your family. Tulsa Bone and Joint Owasso, moving life forward.
In the past 7 years, First Bank of Owasso has invested over $400,000 in Owasso Public Schools. This includes funds for athletic and academic teams, classroom materials, and support for our teachers. Discover the First Bank of Owasso difference by visiting one of their 3 convenient Owasso locations or by visiting firstbank.net. First Bank of Owasso, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth here for our post-game show. Final score, Owasso 7, Union 10. That is the First Bank of Owasso final score. First Bank of Owasso is the bank you can believe in. Thanks to Dee Sokolowski and First Bank of Owasso for their support of the Owasso Sports Network. Jared Gallagher with you along with Steve Mowry. And Steve, just an odd night all around.
Yeah, it just never really got into a feel or a rhythm where you thought the Rams could get anything going. And to the same degree, Union, I mean, both these teams, when they moved the football, it was usually on a play whenever they had a penalty that would bring it back. And it just got lethargic there, especially second and third quarters. Ram had that big drive to begin that third quarter that took about 8 minutes off the clock, come up empty. And, you'd like to see them be able to finish that off. They didn't do it here tonight, and so they'll come up short on the short end of this. Got to be number 1 for 2 weeks, but they'll be a different one next week. You got to think that those pesky Jeeks Trojans will be back up there in the number 1 spot. But there's a lot of football yet to be played, not only in district play, but toward the playoffs.
And, Steve, this is going to be a tough one to swallow for the Owasso Rams and the Ram faithful. You come into this game with a ton of confidence coming off a big victory over your rivals in Broken Arrow. Feeling good. I know this is a tough place to play, Steve.
Yeah.
Union Tuttle Stadium. But on all sides of the ball, it looks like on paper that you're the better team.
Right.
And so, again, tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Got to get over it, though, because you've got homecoming coming up this week.
Right.
And plenty of regular season left to play to really build that confidence back. And now, on the back end of it, you're probably through the toughest part of your schedule.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's time to go get healthy, get some good games out of the way, some offensive production and everything like that, and just try to go back, try to get into the postseason with just one lone blemish on your schedule, and then go get after it. It's 1-0 after that.
Yeah, it's still early. A lot of football yet to be played. This one's going to sting. It's going to hurt. You had opportunities. Both teams had opportunities to do more than they did here tonight. But, Jared, the last time we were on this field when we had an overtime game, things turned out pretty nicely there at the end of the season. So still a lot of work yet to be done. You're disappointed tonight, but it'll be time to move on and work your way through this district. You get that second place spot in district. You're still going to host a home game, so we'll go back and we'll draw things up. Still like the way things are working out for Owasso. Nobody that we know of got hurt tonight. Union's going to have some things to think about,
Sure thing.
depending on the extent of injury to Grayson Tempest. Certainly hope that he's okay, and we'll be following up on that. But Coach Fred's going to have some decisions to make as well.
Play of the game brought to you by Owasso First Assembly of God. You got to think it's Willingham to Ronnie Thomas, what we've been calling the Hail Mary, there to tie the game up late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a fourth down play, and it really looked like the Union defenders were in place to be able to make a play on the ball. But, kids in high school, they see that melon up in the air, man. They just want to jump up and snag it, and the ball came down into Ronnie Thomas's hands for that touchdown. It wasn't pretty, but, hey, anytime you can get that touchdown, that's what sent them to overtime. Felt bad for Jake Adams there at the end. Looked like he was going to have that field goal. And, man, I'm not sure you could shoot a football out of a cannon any harder into a goalpost than he did.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to hang his head on that.
No.
Either. I mean, those were incredibly pressure-filled kicks. And,
many opportunity. Even there before halftime, Jared, we had some streak patterns that we just didn't get the ball to the receiver, underthrown, overthrown, or too much pressure. And credit Union defense. They put pressure on us all night long, kept us out of our game plan, and made us feel uncomfortable. That's what you want to do. You want to make the offense feel uncomfortable, and that would probably be the best word I'd have for our offense tonight is we felt uncomfortable.
Absolutely, but that was the play of the game brought to you Owasso First Assembly of God. It was Willingham to Ronnie Thomas on a fourth down and long to tie the game up and send it into overtime. Visit Pastors Bruce and Janet McCarty every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at Owasso First Assembly of God, just south of CVS on 96th Street and 129th East Avenue. Steve, when we look at the stats, again, not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You look at first downs, pretty even, 13 for Owasso, 14 for Union. Rushing for Owasso, 33 rushes for just 39 yards on the night.
Wow.
Passing, 17 of 27, and kind of a tandem effort there between Willingham and Havens. 17 of 27 for 229 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's 63 plays for 268 total yards, about half of what Owasso is used to, with averaging 503 yards per game. On the other side of the ball, Union, 14 first downs, like we mentioned, 33 rushes, 172 yards. 131 yards through the air, 56 plays, 303 yards total. Look at individual stats for Owasso. Rushing, Overstreet, 9 for 27. Neely, 6 for 13. Passing, Austin Havens, 13 of 22 for 168 yards and an interception. Willingham, 4 for 5, 61 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving the ball tonight, Keelan Carney, 3 receptions, 45 yards. Ronnie Thomas, 3 for 52 yards and that big touchdown to tie it up. Cole Adams, 7 receptions, 120 yards. Really, kind of probably our offensive player of the game, Cole Adams. 7 receptions, 120 yards. Emory Neely, 6 for 13 yards. Derek Overstreet, 9 for 27 yards. On the other side of the ball for Union, Smith had 19 rushes for 121 yards. Rovon Banks, 9 for 43 yards, and Grayson Tempest, 4 for 11 yards, but he had the big touchdown on the first drive of the game. Passing the ball, Grayson Tempest, 10 of 20, 131 yards and no touchdowns. Receiving the ball for Union, Wood, 3 for 29, Boyd, 3 for 57, Jenkins, 3 for 26, and Sanders, 1 for 19. Those are your stats. And defensive player of the game brought to you by Wings to Go, Steve. Probably Jake Clifton, maybe Chris McClellan. They really kind of carried the defense tonight.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you could really do Chris McClellan about every week just because he is head and shoulders above most players. But he draws so much attention that your teammates have got to make play. But Jake Clifton, he came in here tonight and made critical plays at critical times, filling a gap on critical downs. So I would say Big Jake's kind of got that wrapped up here tonight in this ball game. Defensive line got pushed around a little bit here tonight, Jared, which was a surprise to me because I thought that might be one of our strongholds. But Union just came out with a great game plan and executed it just enough to pull out a win.
Grab your post-game snack at Wings to Go in Owasso, located in the Waterford Plaza at 96th Street and 129th East Avenue. That is your defensive player of the game, Jake Clifton. And, Steve, it's time for the Maury Funeral Service final word. And, again, just kind of a weird vibe tonight all around.
I mean, even the game we did a few years ago, Jared, the 44-41, there was rhythm, there was scoring, there were fireworks. Tonight, if you'd have told me coming in that Owasso would be held to 7 points by this Union Ball Club, I'd have said, oh, there's no way. I'm not saying they'd have put 44 on the board, but to come in tonight and get shut down with 7 points with the type of high-powered offense that Owasso has, I guess you should add to that, it's a high-powered offense when you execute. And what I mean by that is too many underthrown balls, too many busted blocking assignments on the inside, catches not made when they were in the hands, and then having critical penalties. I mean, a lot of mental errors in this ball game, and that would be something I would have just said. I would have certainly taken the over 7
oh, absolutely.
if I was in Vegas on this. But you got to credit the defensive staff at Union and what they did here this evening. Man, it's like they knew what we were calling in the huddle and had an answer for every play, and we just couldn't break loose from that.
10-7 the final score here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Union High School takes it over the top-ranked Owasso Rams. Back to the drawing board for Owasso. Steve, why don't you take it out for us?
Well, it's been a great night, a beautiful night. It's a fantastic facility, Jared. I mean, this is just a really going to be a great place once they get it all finished in typical Union fashion. They have great support here in their school district as well. But unfortunately, the Rams come out here short tonight. I want to thank Dave back in the studio for doing such a fantastic job making us sound good for our string team. Brock Crawford, Brandon Brewer, and his team of students that help us out so well. Rob Williams feeding the stats over here all night long, and then my wingman Jared Gallagher here tonight. I'm Steve Maury. You've been listening to Owasso Ram Football right here on your Owasso Sports Network.